We back again. Nickel City NerdBoyz collaborating.
This episode is brought to you by
Maddie Ross Clothing. Hit up my boy Steve O. Johnson, MaddieRoss.com. Hit him up on Facebook, Steve O. Johnson. And hit up the Maddie Ross page. And, you know, get your Maddie Ross.
MaddieRoss.com.
Dude, I got me one of those leather face masks. Nicest thing I ever bought, man. Worth every penny. You should check that out.
MaddieRoss.com. Check it out.
No doubt. Yeah. Keep you warm too in this cold weather.
Yeah, with that being said, let's get into the topic of discussion, which is cancel culture. So,
a lot of recent cancels. a lot of recent cancellations.
Lots. And Scott been looking them up since.
Yeah, I've been kind of doing a little bit of homework on everything, you know. And
yeah, so we gonna let you lead this off, Scott.
Yeah, let's get into some current, like, what's the big hashtag right now?
The big hashtag right now is the Pepe Le Pew Incident and the Mr. Potato Head, the gender neutral potato head, I might say now. That is what it's called.
So how do you cancel a cartoon?
You just get it stripped, I think. I think you just completely, you know, eliminate the records of it, I believe. I think that's what they're going to do.
So do they make an edited version of the old movies where he's not in it at all?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting because, like, he's in the first Space Jam. Yeah, he's in it. He's got a little scene where he stinks everybody up and stuff. Does his little thing.
They'll probably just cut that part out.
And, you know, and I get it because he is like a womanizing skunk.
Yeah.
But, I mean, is he forcing himself on women? You can say that.
Maybe a little.
But you know what my argument is against characters that don't age well? Mm-hmm. Is that that's a real person represented by a real person who feminism or whatever liberalism that you're trying to attack, you're trying to go against that.
Right.
You should want there to be a portrayal of that character at least so people know, oh, there are people like that.
Yeah. And my biggest point about Pepe Le Pew, he fucking stinks.
Yeah,
he's a skunk smelling like a skunk, so I'm pretty sure I won't want him touching me either.
Yeah, yeah, just some of the senseless stuff that's happening more recently, like the Mr. Potato Head thing. They wanted Mr. Potato Head to be more gender neutral, so they renamed it to Potato Head.
But he has a wife.
I thought there was a Mrs. Potato Head. I always thought that there was.
She was in Toy Story.
Yeah, she was in Toy Story too.
That's
John
right.
Rickles played the Potato Head, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that.
That's so funny.
John Rickles
that adds a whole other layer.
No, that's why he's my favorite character.
Because he's the most like he doesn't hold back anything.
Yeah, he does. He's Mr. Potato Head. That's
But you know what's crazy is like the past is what it is. You cannot change the past. As people are trying so hard to change the past so they can form it into what it is today. But you can't change the past. The past happened.
Facts.
Like, you can learn from it.
Yeah, like the whole thing with Eminem. They want to cancel Eminem now for you said Love the Way You Lie, was it?
Yeah, it was I want to break your windpipe and love the way you lie.
He had
right
a song.
Now it's a steel pipe in my windpipe. Something about breaking the windpipe. Yeah.
Two songs that just the two of us and Kim.
Yeah.
He killed his baby mom on Kim and threw it in the lake.
Yeah.
Do you know
with his daughter in tow?
He had back then in 2002 or whatever it was. He had cancel culture going. He was one of the first ones.
Yeah.
There was picket signs for. He even said it himself. Picket signs for my wicked rhymes.
Yeah.
Like he's been battling that forever.
And the thing is, as somebody that I love music, like I consider myself a musical nerd, and he's a music artist, which means he's telling stories,
right?
Whether they're true or not, you know, it's just like if he slaps the shit out of somebody in one of his songs,
you know what?
I'm telling a story.
You know what woke culture is turning into? Turning into Bill O'Reilly. The people remember when Bill O'Reilly took Cameron and Damon Dash and brought them on Fox News. He wanted to tell them that their rap music is horrible and the kids are hearing it and you're being a bad influence. And what did Cameron say so beautifully?
He said, "Listen, who raps about pimping and bitches and among other things, and rap producer Damon Dash, a co-founder of Rockefeller Records, together with Mr. Thomas L., who joins us now from Philly. Cameron, why don't you go ahead?"
At the end of the day, you got an influence on it, but so do movies. Like with me, I'm just an author. So what I do is I write what goes on in the ghetto. I'm not a liar. So if what I tell you goes on in my album, that's what goes on in the streets of Harlem. Now I'm like a reporter. You look at the news, you don't get mad at the person reporting the news. A lot of influence, I think, go to movies. A lot of people look at the movies and then they react. The kids that killed them kids in, where was that thing? Like Columbine. Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? I don't think they were listening to rap at all. I think that was more like a Marilyn Manson jump off, you know, like
What if
the story of reality of what's really happening in the streets of Harlem? So you could take it or leave it, but this is really what's going on in these streets.
Right. And people
my duties, boogles, and my duty real, and my boobies, the doobies, the doobies. That's all I hear from Cameron. That's what Cameron sounds like.
That did sound like Cameron a little
So
bit.
if he's talking reality, I don't know what reality he's talking about. He's
a little
like,
too close to your mic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm sorry.
You're just a little too close, but go ahead.
But I was going to say about the Eminem thing, like, they've gone against Eminem and they lose every time he wins, and he just makes a mockery of anyone that kind of tries to cancel him, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the thing about it. Like, I feel like what's driving the cancel culture right now is this COVID bullshit going on.
Yeah, no, it's everything sitting around.
Because everybody doesn't have shit else to do but to find something to be pissed off about. And I feel like people are really reaching and finding shit to be pissed off about.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's a problem
It's
right now.
like, it's this episode of The Boondocks.
Ooh,
it's
like
like,
one of my favorite shows.
You remember the one episode when somebody threw a chair and it just got quiet? And then it's like, I'm mad. And they just start fighting. That's all I feel like. Somebody just says, oh my God, that doesn't look right.
That
like,
song from 2005, I don't like it. I want to cancel it now.
Right. Like Demi Lovato just said some dumb shit too. Like she said that gender reveals are transphobic. How the fuck is it transphobic when somebody is just revealing what they're having? Like, and that's another thing.
That's
like,
a big topic right here. We're about to open up is this whole movement towards gender and gender reform. And I'm all for it. Like let people be who they want to be. People should live who they want to live. But you can't force the conservative-minded parents to bend to your will. If they want to raise their kids a traditional way in whatever through the church or whatever it is they're doing, they have the same freedom that you have to not gender your children. You don't have to gender your children, but other parents might want to gender their children, and you can't tell them how to raise their children.
Like Dwayne Wade. I really respect how he, his son
I heard about
identified more as a female. So Zion is now Zaya.
Yeah.
Fine.
Which is fine.
That's great.
As a dad, 100%. He supported his kid. He got a lot of shit. Got a lot of shit for it.
He did.
Yeah.
Like if my son came to me, it was like, Dad, I feel more like a woman. Would it blow my mind? Hell yeah. I've been raising a son for almost 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, it would come as a shock, but I would have my son's back.
Yeah.
I would put us in counseling because I would want to understand more where he's coming from.
Yeah.
And I want to get him prepared for the world because even with cancel culture. So say Zaya Wade just decides one day she doesn't want to live as a female no more. She wants to, live her life as a male, maybe a gay man, and doesn't want to be a female anymore. So would she get canceled for that? Because now they feel like, oh, she was a fraud this whole time. She just exploited gay culture for fame or whatever. So how would that happen? And that's possible to happen. Zaya Wade is what, 13?
Something like that.
She's already been under scrutiny as it is for all this.
Yeah.
And people have some really harsh opinions on like fatherhood and bullshit to Dwayne Wade. Like
that's
when all he's doing is loving and supporting his kid.
But that's all he was doing. That's what this comes down to is the whole live and let live. Like if people have their philosophy on life and their worldview, and it might be we have complete polar opposite worldviews in this country right now as the way things are going. But they have to respect each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Period. Like no matter what it is, if it's not progressive enough for you, at the end of the day, it's not your family, it's not your children, it's not your parents. You got to let them do what they got to do. Because we're all here, we're all trying to make it so. I mean, that's a libertarian philosophy. If you think about it, I'm a libertarian. Right. Libertarian philosophy is live and let live, and as much freedom as possible, as humanly possible for everybody. Everybody has to be able to enjoy the liberty of this country. This Constitution, what it says, the freedom that every person, no matter what race they are, no matter what gender they are, should have the same opportunity. That's what libertarian philosophy pushes for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you're seeing this liberal mindset that comes from a good place of heart. They're trying to reform things and change the way things are and make things better, but they're turning into the authoritarians, the people that they're fighting against. They're turning into in their attempt to overthrow their whatever you want to call it, the patriarchy. You know what I'm saying?
It's almost a dictatorship.
It's what it's becoming.
Well, yeah, and people are just being crucified for their opinions.
Just opinions.
People don't agree with what they agree with. Like even we're talking about like J.K. Rowling, for example. Like they're trying to cancel her. They're trying to make her lose her publishing deals, her royalties, everything. Am I too close to the mic?
No, you're good.
Am I good? Okay, cool. And like she did say some pretty stupid shit, you know? Like, she said something about, like, transgender getting in the way of, like, women's rights, which is her stupid opinion.
Yeah,
But,
it's just
you know what I mean? Like,
it's a stupid opinion. You can hit the down like button
maybe
on
she
it.
has some, I don't know, like, maybe she thinks she knows some stuff. I don't know.
And it's crazy because I can say to a certain extent, like, how she said it is, you know, how she said it. It probably wasn't the smartest way to say it. Because it's the way I can say I understand because, you know, and nothing against my transgender people out there. I have, you know, transgender family members and, you know, have transgender transgender friends. But, you know, with black rights, you know, I feel like, you know, gay rights can be put more on the forefront before black rights entirely.
Yeah, it turns into a victim thing.
Yeah.
It turns into, like, I'm the bigger victim.
Yeah.
I'm, you know.
That's what we're talking about. This victim culture is like people try to. It turns into dollar signs to people. Like,
right.
Yo, if I can, and like I'll give you the worst case scenario of what happened in Chicago with that actor who was on that show,
Empire. Jussie Smollett.
Jussie Smollett, right?
Yeah.
So Jussie Smollett wants to make some fame for himself. He wants to make everybody, and so what he did was he portrayed something that probably would happen, could happen, probably has happened before.
Yeah.
And he tries to push his narrative to make people think that he was a victim and so they can get all his attention. And that's not the way to do it. Yeah, that's not going to work. And now what he did is he took the whole movement back 20 steps.
Right.
Because now every time you hear about somebody getting beat up by some whatever guys in MAGA hats or something, every time you hear that story, your first thing you think about is it true? Is this another Jussie Smollett story?
Yeah, how about that, like, governor that, like, faked her, like, carjacking, or senator or something? I'm not sure where it was. She, like, faked the whole thing. It was all filmed, too. Like, it was really weird.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think it's in Michigan or something.
I think it was Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure, but this woman, she, like, literally filmed a fake carjacking and got caught faking it. I think she's still in office right now, and it makes me think, like, what the fuck is going on there?
That's what I'm saying.
And with Jussie Smollett, the thing, like, where it kind of gets me at, I had a cousin. He's no longer with us. But he's a gay man. He was living in New York City, and he was attacked. Damn near killed and damn near beat to death. You know, just because of his sexual orientation.
Because of homophobic people, right? That happens all the time. And like, if it happens and really happens, then it really happens. But nobody should be going out of their way to try to make a scene so they can get recognized.
Right.
That's not going to do nothing for anybody.
Like with
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
Oh yeah, like with you know, with Black Lives Matter. You know, like, and I said this before. Like I say, don't take offense to this. It's just, you know, an opinion of mine. But, you know, sometimes white liberals annoy the fuck out of me because sometimes they're the ones that are making bigger issues, like with Black Lives Matter. As a black man, if it don't piss me off, why should it piss you off? Like,
Jesus.
Right.
If it don't piss me off, why should it piss you off?
Yeah.
You know, I saw a picture of a Seattle chapter of Black Lives Matter, and there was like these young kids. There were 99% white kids, probably from the suburbs, probably really nice like good parents and went to good schools, and you see them all dressed all in black with Black Lives Matter gear, and they're posing for the cameras and like, look at us, share this, and tweet me out, and it's all about recognition now. It's all about this like culture where it's like there's really no purpose to this movement, but other than look at me.
And that's why I will always defend Black Lives Matter when people are like, oh, it's all for profit. That's like, it's two Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Right,
you got the Black Lives Matter that's really about the shit. That's really about change and, you know.
Yeah, we talked about that last time for sure, definitely.
And then you got the Black Lives Matter that's for profit.
Yeah, that's right. There's the movement, and then there's the
money.
There's the real movement, and then there's like the slogan that turned into like a hashtag that turned into like a money grab for people.
Yeah.
I'll do my GoFundMe and throw Black Lives Matter and a hashtag in there. Maybe that'll give me some extra dollars out of it.
Because you do have people that will
donate.
Profit.
Yeah,
and like back to like the thing about like the victims and stuff. I feel like whenever anyone's like, it shows their true character. I think when like someone's backed in a corner and they just like throw something as like being like, say for example, you get eliminated off like a game show and you're like, oh, it's because I'm gay. That's why I got eliminated. I always thought that shows like your true colors, you know, like, well, it's not because you're gay. It's because you suck. You didn't win, you know?
Right.
You know, like, you have what it takes.
I'm only using that as an example. Not like I could say that for like pretty much anything. I'm not trying to say anything about gay people or anything. I'm just trying to use that as people will just use the last thing in the bag of tricks is like, oh, this is why.
Well, I think people don't like to look at the mirror and look in the mirror A lot of times people
I
want
to rephrase that though. I didn't mean that for just like gay people.
No, I know. I get what you mean because
Yeah,
I think a
that
lot
as,
of
like,
a lot of
people
people would rather put the blame on someone else than to take responsibility and actually like do some things in their life and become a better person.
Of course.
But that doesn't take away from people are hindered by their race, by their gender, by their sexuality. That does happen. That is an actual fact. People are there are a lot of roadblocks in the way for certain people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I can't just say, like, if I got kicked off a show just because it was an athletic show and and say if I was gay, I can't blame the fact that, oh, I'm gay, so they kicked me off. It's just like, I just didn't physically have what it takes to finish this
right.
this
Sometimes you just
sport
gotta
show.
own up to it. Yeah, you just gotta be like, you know what? I gotta work harder. When you fail is when you want to really. That's when you're gonna succeed the most. Is when you fail. You know.
Well, I can't say because I'm black they kicked me off the show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing is what I meant basically. It's
you know
like
what I
anyone
I always thought about this. So you walk into a store, and the person running the register is a dick. So let's say I go in there first, and I buy something, and he mouths off to me and says, "Oh, whatever, get the fuck out of my store," and I walk out. And then a black person comes in after me and has the same exact experience. Does that black person think in the back of their head it was because of race? Or do they, like, how do you know when it's a racist moment or when it's just a person being a dick?
Now, in that situation, if they didn't see it happen to you, they probably can be like, okay, maybe, especially if it was like a white person and, you know, they treated you like shit, but I didn't see them treat you like shit.
Right.
And you're white too.
Right.
So I come in as a black man and they treat me like shit. I can think it's racial.
You might think that.
But
I wonder how often that happens too.
And I had an experience though where I feel like it was kind of more racial because
I'm sure that happens too.
I was in Massachusetts doing this training, and we went to this museum and went out to dinner afterwards. And the restaurant we were in, it was just like a whole bunch of soldiers. I was in the army. And a whole bunch of soldiers where we went to pay our bill, and the lady was just so nice to all the white soldiers. So nice.
You can see it.
Yeah,
it's obvious.
When it came to me, mood changed.
Wow.
Dry. I'm like
real short with you.
Yeah, I made it a point to like
you knew it.
Go extra just to see how she would react, and she was just so dry, head down, no eye contact.
Yeah.
So in that case,
and you knew that was something was up.
Yeah,
yeah.
And it was just like this is shitty customer service, and you know Massachusetts can be one of the more racist states in the country.
Yeah, yep. Go to South Boston, you'll find out what racism is real quick. South Buffalo was like that too.
Even like some parts of Pennsylvania, like I was like doing this like camp retreat out there in Pennsylvania, and there was people like waving their Nazi flags like just out
crazy
in the front fucking porch.
Yeah.
It was like almost like a monument. I was like in such shock when I saw. I stopped the car. I was like, "You guys fucking see that?" Yeah. We stopped. We actually got out and took pictures. We're like, "What the fuck is this?
Like, this is real. Like
this is real." Yeah, I didn't think I couldn't fucking believe it.
Oh yeah, that's
this guy's got a fucking Nazi flag up there.
A lot because you see a lot of people who want to always be like, "Oh, all that racism stuff that's in the past. That was 50 years ago."
I don't believe in violence.
I don't believe there's real racism going on right now.
Listen, I don't believe in violence, but I will say one thing: if you see a Nazi, just punch him right in the fucking face. I think a Nazi should get punched. I think every time
I'm gonna take the glasses off for this. If you see a Nazi, punch him in the fucking
throat. Punch him right in the fucking throat.
Punch that bitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I remember I was driving around. It was in Kenmore too, and I saw a guy wearing a fucking Nazi shirt walking around Kenmore.
Was he being for real though?
He had a shirt with a swastika on.
That's crazy.
So I just like couldn't help myself. I was like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? You know, I'm like, why first of all, I shouldn't have never even interacted with the guy because obviously he's a nutcase. And he was like, I'm allowed to, it's a free country. I can do whatever I want. I was like, yeah, but you can get punched in the face too.
Right.
Like I can punch you in the face if I want, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. Because this ties into cancel culture. Yeah. You do have the right to say what you want. Right. You have the right to express yourself, but people have the right to respond to what you do.
Here's the funny thing. I wrote about it on Facebook. Like I just like a little bit about it on Facebook, and people showed their true colors, dude. Like some Nazi fucking enthusiast. Like, oh, he was just telling it like how he felt. I'm just like, what the fuck? Dude?
Yeah. There's no reason to defend that.
So if he gets knocked the fuck out. Yeah. I want y'all to have that same fucking energy because
I'm not gonna say what happened after, but we'll just But regardless, I couldn't believe that. I actually put it on Facebook about a guy walking around with it, and somebody was like, "Yeah, he has the right to do that," and I was like, well, I have the right to fucking run him over too.
And I had this disagreement with somebody, and I feel like Donald Trump's presidency kind of made races more. I feel like Donald Trump's presidency brought racism more. It was
to the
more
forefront.
noticeable.
Yeah,
because then you start noticing somebody I served with. I'm not gonna say his name, but come to find out, he was on some racist shit.
Really?
And this is a dude, that was cool, like.
Yeah,
and it's like you never know.
Yeah,
like,
that blows my mind.
Somebody my dad worked with used the N-word.
Wow.
Got fired for it, but this was somebody that would give my dad the shirt off his back.
Yeah.
That's another thing that people don't realize is the mind is so complex.
Right.
And so your first reaction when you hear somebody wearing a Nazi shirt is you want to punch them in the face. That's the normal reaction, right?
Pretty much.
But like, imagine sitting down with that person for an hour and talking to them, and you might find some shit out. They might have some things going on with them, and
maybe not a Nazi, but I understand.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
People, we're quick to throw people in categories. That person's Nazi. That person's this person's that. Yeah. But really, it's more complex than that. Everybody's an individual, first of all.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that comes back to the thing was like, because we're talking about cancel culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do we draw the line between this person's a Nazi and they should be shut down, or they just said some stupid shit one time?
I think it's obvious if someone's a Nazi. I think that's obvious. We could agree on that. But I think that it's unfortunate that people really can't say how they feel about certain things because they'll lose their livelihood over it. Especially if they feel very strongly about something.
The Undertaker. The Undertaker and Chris Jericho, I guess, apparently are two people that, supported Donald Trump, donated to his campaign.
Oh, interesting.
And,
I want to say something real quick about that. Real quick. Not everybody that supported Donald Trump is racist, though. You know what I'm saying?
But that was the point I was about to make.
But continue. Yeah.
So, like, somebody on my Facebook, they shared the post and, they were like, oh, I can't rock with Undertaker anymore. He's a Trump supporter. Yeah. But, like, if you watch anybody interview that's asked about the Undertaker, Undertaker is somebody that has nothing but universal praise from his peers.
Right.
From the fans.
Ultimate respect.
He's like the Don Corleone of the wrestling world.
Yeah.
And it's just
the Undertaker.
I'm not going to sit up there and cancel Undertaker because of who he supports. And that's what makes cancel culture so fucking stupid, because you feel like Mike Tyson said he was voting for Donald Trump when Donald Trump ran back in 2016.
Yeah.
I don't know if he voted for him this time.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
He was on Joe Rogan talking about it. He did again, 2020.
Yeah. So
did 50 Cent. So did Lil Wayne. He got here's the thing. People assume that Trump supporters are all one thing, and usually liberals will paint the picture as all Trump supporters are, and their picture is like this down south, racist, completely hates everybody. But a lot of times they just want lower taxes. They just want deregulated market.
That's why most people with money are Republicans, because they're more.
So you got to.
And here's the thing: the Undertaker is not. He's not wearing MAGA hats and saying Trump's America. He's not out of his. He's not deranged.
Right.
And, he's not talking about Trump. He doesn't even. He keeps his political shit to himself. He'll wear little innuendos and stuff on his clothing that'll say he supports the Blue Lives Matter movement and say he supports the police.
See, that's what I'm saying. There's little reasons why people.
But he doesn't go around and say vote for this guy, or if you don't, you're a fucking idiot.
And even with the whole police thing, it's just like my mom was a cop.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm not completely against cops. I'm against the bad ones that abuse their fucking power.
Right.
But I'm not gonna say, I'm against police
mom.
officers. I'm like, fuck the police and all that shit. Fuck all the bad ones, yeah. But I'm not gonna say fuck the police, because at the end of the day, they need us just like we need them. For real.
Yeah, they're just people too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I know a lot of cops, and I know a lot of them, they heart's in the right place. It's just like, and the black cops I feel bad for too, because I have a lot of friends
stuck in the middle.
Yeah, we talked about that too.
And I watched
stuck in the middle of
movie.
two cultures.
And this is a movie I watched called Black Cop, and he people were just at the protest getting in his face and
White
shit like that.
And stuff.
Black people.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what's ironic? This happened in Seattle too. Or no, it was Portland actually. Portland. There's a video of a black cop. Looks like he's about to cry. Like he can't understand the situation he's in. It looks like he's blown away by the situation. Getting screamed at by a white Antifa kid. Is calling him Uncle Tom, racist, this, that. They don't
even know they don't even know the history. They don't know what they're saying. coming from someone who graduated from PSU with a history degree, it's actually frightening on how, they say if you don't know your history, you repeat it, and watching people do that to other people just because of what they decide to do with their life.
What are some of those interactions that you're...
So a lot of times someone of color, black, Hispanic, Asian, come up to the fence and directly want to talk to me. Hey, what do you think about George Floyd? What do you think about what happened about this? I go up to the fence, someone white comes up, F the police, don't talk to him. That was the most bizarre thing because I could see it coming. I even had a young African American girl tell me, why is it you guys aren't talking to us? I said, honestly, this is now the 23rd day of doing it. Every time I try to have a conversation with someone that looks like me, someone white comes up and blocks them and tells them not to talk. And then right when I said that, this white girl popped right in front of her. She said, he just said that was going to happen. I said, I told you. She looked at the girl and said,
to me, that's no different than back in the 1950s and the reverse side where somebody was actually calling somebody all types of names back then. That's no different than you saying something to a black cop because you're a white liberal. That gives you no right to call anybody anything because of what political side you're on. People think that because of what political side they're on, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, and it's just like we so-called hate this go along to get along culture, but that's exactly what we're pushing.
Right.
And like, as a man, I got kids. If the opportunity came for me to be a cop, firefighter, whatever, I got a family for you. I got 3 kids that are fast growing up, and as a dad, I gotta do what I gotta do to take care of my family. So if I become a cop and you're against me making a living to take care of my family, shame on fucking you.
And you know what?
And eat a fucking dick.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know what? On top of that, people should support you to be a cop because if you want to make the police better, we need better people to become cops.
Yeah.
That means more black police officers. That means more black judges. Mean more black sheriffs. That's gonna help everything. So stop calling them people Uncle Toms and all these names.
Miles Carter for sheriff.
Miles Carter for sheriff. There you go.
And like my mom, Carrie Horn is my mom. If you could Google my mom, she was a black
Hero.
officer.
Yeah.
Fired for saving somebody's life. And she just had a law passed in her name, Carrio's Law. So with Carrio's Law, it holds cops accountable. So if you see a cop sees his partner beating somebody up, it is their duty to intervene and stop that shit from happening.
How cool is that, also. Let's acknowledge how cool that is.
Yeah, that's cancel
your
culture,
mom
too.
was the pioneer and she has it named after her. That is like the coolest. Yeah. Your mom's an actual living hero. You know what I mean? Like an actual hero.
The sacrifice she made was greater than any amount of
and even
anything.
That,
I'm glad it's finally starting to pay off a little bit.
Yeah, and with that being said, when we talk about cops not intervening before that, like before Carrio's Law, like we're going to push to get this shit national, which would be awesome. Yeah. But before like that law was put in place, I can understand why a lot of officers, I don't agree with it, but I can understand why a lot of officers didn't step in because when you see what happened to my mom, she lost every fucking thing that she worked hard for.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you lose
retirement checks,
pension,
yeah.
I read about everything.
So when you lose all that, and she's not the only one.
Right.
Yeah.
There's plenty of officers that stepped in, black and white.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even about the whole race thing. There's good cops. Like I've had more bad experiences with black cops than I have with white cops.
Right.
A white cop actually let me go with a suspended license before.
Wow. See?
So it's like,
might get lucky.
Like yeah. So
maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe we should stop trying to box everybody and put everybody in boxes and.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice if that's how the world worked? We actually were like, all right, let's all work together to fix this instead of, let's throw fucking glass bottles and throw shit at them until they figure shit out. Like, how does that solve anything?
Right. Well, that comes back to cancel culture. Yeah. It's like we think we can mold society by canceling everything we don't like, but all it does is make people come back worse.
Right. Yeah. And even like with Undertaker, one thing I watched, and I refer this to anybody, watch the Undertaker and Snoop Dogg interview. Like I say, 2 totally different personalities, but they have so much in common at the same time.
So,
and one thing Undertaker said was like, back in the day, you used to have a conversation, and it's cool. Right. It's not like, well, because you support the police, fuck you, or because you're a Trump supporter, fuck you. Like some of the people, like one of my best friends in the army supports Trump, but I love this dude. I will fight for this dude. I got this dude back just like he got mine.
Yeah.
And it's a damn shame that we can't just figure out what we have in common.
Right.
Yeah, that's a shame.
And even like you, I know you said you want to bring up the whole thing with the Washington RedSkins.
Right.
Well, Washington football team now.
Right.
Yeah,
So the
it's
Washington football team is an interesting thing because this is really what cancel culture really got powerful. They were able to change the name of an NFL franchise of a city. Now, off the surface, you look at Washington Redskins and you see it got canceled, and right away the first reaction is, well, that sounds like a real or racist name. It's about time for change, right? But then you actually dig into where the name actually came from, and it gets a little more complicated than you think. So, real quick, let me preface this by saying I don't care about. I'm not trying to keep the name or anything like that. I'm all for changing the name. If people don't like the name, I'm all for that. First of all, but second of all, it's more complicated than you think. The Washington Redskins got their name back in, I think it was the 1920s, when they had a general manager of the team who was Native American, who picked the name based off the tribe of Native Americans who lived in the area of Oklahoma. The state Oklahoma got its name from Native American language, which the word Oklahoma actually means redskin. So you hear about the teams called the Braves, the Seminoles, the Redskins. They all tie into one culture, and it was the name was actually chosen by Native Americans. And believe it or not, when it was mostly white liberals pushing to change the name because they wanted to be woke and they wanted it to sound like they were fighting for all this, helping out the guy that needs help, and all these Native Americans hate this name, right? They must hate this name, right? They did 3 polls before they changed the name. Those 3 polls, it was about 85% of the Native Americans said, "I want to keep that name. That name means something to us." Wow. On the 3rd poll, they finally got the results they wanted, and they changed the name.
Oh,
so
wow.
I will say this: there were Native Americans that didn't like the name. I'm not saying all Native Americans liked it,
right.
But at the same time, there was plenty, and there's tons of documentation. I'm showing it right now that shows that their Native Americans did want to keep the name too, but the white liberal, the cancel culture, that was the boss of all bosses, and they came in and swooped in, and now it's a Washington football team. It is what it is. Like I'm not. That's not my hill to die on. I don't care. They changed the name. They changed the name. You know what I mean?
I really despise the cancel culture because certain things, yes, it's like certain people,
yeah,
you can cancel them.
Yeah, they say dumb shit, then it's too far.
But like if it's just your opinion, it's just you expressing yourself, your true feelings on something, you shouldn't get canceled. Like, what the fuck is our First Amendment right if we can't say what's on our mind?
Yeah.
Like
even the Gina Carano thing, that's like a big controversy. The girl with the Mandalorian shit.
Yeah. Well, it's like, do I agree with what she said?
No.
Probably not.
Not at all. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, she said it. She, she found the words to say it to where it shouldn't have been offensive to nobody. But if you say, "Oh, yeah, that shirt looks too big on you," oh my God, you saying I'm skinny or something like that.
Right.
Like,
you know what's ironic about the whole situation is that her comment supposedly was rude to Jewish people, right? Supposedly this was an offensive comment to Jews. The first person that came to her rescue and got her a job and got her
Ben Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro, Jewish man, Orthodox Jew, which means he's all completely.
Well, he's just against cancel culture. I don't know if he really agrees. But still, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, still, so
she's getting support from the mega conservative
Jewish guy. The point I'm trying to make is when we try to cancel somebody because we think it's offensive to a certain group, have we asked that certain group if they're offended?
Yeah. Like you said, what was it, Chris Rock? Who did blackface with Chris Rock?
Oh, yeah. Jimmy Fallon did blackface with Chris Rock.
So if you mad about that,
ask Chris Rock.
If Chris Rock is mad, okay, by all means. But if Chris Rock is okay with it, then who the fuck are we to?
I'm pretty sure Chris Rock was in the bit laughing his balls
That's
off.
what I'm trying to get at.
Hello.
Yeah.
We think we're doing all this great progress by canceling people because we're woke. But the people that are supposedly we're saving, or being Superman and coming to save them from the evil patriarch, they're not even offended. Only you're offended.
How about Goya? Goya tried to cancel Goya. I think it was like last year.
Goya supported Trump
because Goya was in a Trump tweet.
And at the end of the day, Goya is a corporation that's trying to make the most profit as much as possible.
He's the president of the United States,
and he's the president. He's the president, and his policy. He passed law that deregulated the market so that Goya can make more money, and they supported him for that. It had nothing. Goya. How can Goya be racist?
Right.
It's a Puerto Rican company, right?
I got Goya products in my kitchen right now.
Yeah, I eat Goya all the time. Kidding me?
I'll Saison the shit out of something. I'll Saison some onions this morning.
Yeah.
Right.
How about Aunt Jemima? That's another one that got canceled.
Why?
The syrup bottle.
Why?
I don't know too much about it.
I guess it was I know a little bit about this. I guess it was
some.
some racial origins with it.
Yeah.
Which.
But didn't the owner of the company, wasn't it a black family that owned the company?
Yeah.
Right?
I believe so.
I thought
think
it was.
She made like millions of dollars.
Yeah, and that's the person who got directly affected by them getting canceled was a black family. So you canceled a black family. That just blows my mind. Like, maybe it was, I don't know. Like I said, it's not my hill to die on. Like, people want to change people's names. It's fine.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to take the glasses off again. So all my white liberal friends out there, I love y'all support. Trust me, we do. Black Lives Matter, all that shit. But calm the fuck down. We need y'all to calm the fuck down. This cancel culture shit is destroying us.
You won.
Because we cannot say shit. We can't do nothing without us being threatened about being canceled. Told that we're gonna be canceled, and it's just like even Starbucks at one point. I love the vanilla bean from Starbucks. Damn, let me enjoy my vanilla bean, please. Stop canceling shit.
Yeah.
I'm all for people having their right to their own opinion. I'm all for people being able to say what the fuck they want to say, whether I agree with it or not. Because I'm not some little whiny bitch that worry about whatever the fuck is going on. I have to worry about me and my family. Worry about you and yours. Stop trying to cancel shit. Stop trying to take people money out their pocket because y'all want to find out what to be pissed off about today.
Yeah. It's like a
fuck y'all. Like, damn, calm the fuck down and grow the fuck up.
I know.
Yeah,
I wish people would
rant
just
over.
listen to that and actually do something and adjust.
I want to make that a
themselves,
bit.
You know, that would be nice.
You know what I'm thinking?
Unfortunately, I live in a world where the Harry Potter girl is getting canceled.
What did she do now? Because this is one of the
said this.
She's one of the most wokest people on the planet.
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling. Oh yeah.
Well, she apparently doesn't like transgender people. So
I didn't. Was that what she said?
Yeah,
I didn't.
She doesn't support transgenderism.
So what exactly did she say?
She said that transgenderism is going against women's rights.
So what she means by that is that these biological male turns female. They're getting in the way of women having to, rise up or whatever.
That's an interesting topic.
So
though.
this opens up another can of worms right here, because this is an issue. I want to talk about this for 1 second, real quick. Give me a second. So we got the sports thing going on right now, where these girls who are training to win their track meets at their high schools are racing against someone who was biologically male, who identified as woman and is transgendering, and we support that. I'm saying that real quick. It's fine. It's cool. We should all support that. But like, come on, you just were, you got an advantage. You got an advantage to win that wrestling match or fight or race or whatever it is. And if you don't think that's actually, if you think it's a rare occasion, look, I'm just going to show you some examples on the screen right now. It happens all the time, every year at multiple schools. It's happening, and it's not fair to women. And maybe that's what she was coming from. I don't know where she was coming from with her.
And that's a very interesting point, because what was it? Was it an MMA fighter that?
Oh my God! Yeah,
she's cracked somebody's
breaking 2 skulls. I heard.
Right.
It might be a rumor though. There might be. I think that there's 2 people that they fucked up.
This is not me trying to be transphobic at all. This is me coming from a place of facts and a place of science.
Yeah, it's not right.
I shouldn't say a man. I'm trying to be more correct now. When somebody who identifies as a woman makes the transition, this is scientifically proven. This is not just me being transphobe.
Yeah.
Scientifically proven that there will be genetic makeup that will stay with the person with the XY chromosomes that are there forever. So there's muscle tendons and male legs that women don't have. There's also parts of all parts of the human body. I'm not an anatomy major or whatever. I'm not a doctor either, so I don't know. But I'm telling you, I know this. I've read into this, and that's just a reality.
So listen, they did like a statistical study on this. This person who was born biologically male, she won this really big bike competition, like the biggest one in the world apparently. I don't know what it was, but they asked her or him I'm sorry. I think identifies as a woman now. I apologize. I'm not sure. I don't want to mess that up. Do you think it was fair that you won, you know what I mean, and all the women behind you didn't win? And they tried to argue the fact that there's no science behind it, and they actually showed it to her. They showed it right in front of her face that the male physique, or athleticism is a little different between a male and a woman.
Right. How much is genetically you get chopped off all day, take the hormone shots, but you still have.
There's still the chromosomes.
They were winning every time. It was like, come on, like it just is what it is. Like if you're winning every time, like you're proving the point that it's true, not because you train all the time.
My whole thing with that is and I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it, at least make it I would say make it a transgender competition if that's the case.
Yeah, there's enough.
Yeah, let's start a whole new league. Why not?
Why not? Male and women have their own.
And you know what?
That's progression.
And you know what? Also, and then you hear like Adam, the guy from Adam Ruins Everything, Adam, whatever his name is, Adam Cohn. His take was, we should just make one league for everybody. Well, okay, then the men are going to dominate. That doesn't make sense. But to kind of agree with what he's saying, anybody should be able to move up rank.
Mm-hmm.
So like in boxing, heavyweights fight heavyweights, right? But if a lightweight wanted to fight a heavyweight could agree to it, and it can happen.
Just happened in the UFC.
Yeah, heavyweights don't go down to lightweight fight, though. You can go up rank.
Yeah.
So we should have it in sports, universally, anybody who's qualified, if a woman became the best NFL kicker in the world, she should be in the NFL.
Well, let's even take a look at that. Let's even take a look at just size, okay? So just recently, Israel Adesanya, who's a middleweight UFC champion, wanted to move up and fight the light heavyweight champion, and he lost. And was 20-0 before it, and he's one of the greatest fighters of all time. He's like a Mitch Marker, an MMA record of like 102. He has 100 wins and 2 losses.
Right.
He's never lost mixed martial arts until this past match. But the reason was the late rounds, he just kept getting on top of him. That's all he did. He just laid on top of him for 2 rounds, and he won because he controlled it by just being a bigger specimen.
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
It wasn't skill.
But that comes back to the advantage thing. There are advantages for different weight groups, different gender, there are different advantages.
They're there for a reason. Like the middleweight, lightweight. We're talking about the best middleweight in the world that beat every other middleweight. No other contenders can even fuck with this guy.
Right.
And he goes up to lightweight against someone that everyone thought he'd win.
Right.
It was Jan Blachowicz, who's an excellent lightweight champion, but everyone always counts him out all the time. Everyone's like, Jan's going to lose. But he just literally, the first 2.5 rounds, Izzy was completely in charge. It was stand up. If it was stand up, he's going to win. And the last 2 rounds, he was on his back. Just literally laid on top of him.
That's what my solution would be. People should look at the way boxing is set up and do other sports accordingly with different and
they do
different realms,
and they do
of who you can
do. I mean, if you really want to, I don't want to say anybody's stupid, but like if you really think that a male doesn't have an advantage in a physical race. I mean, I understand there's some fucking amazing women athletes out there. There's women that can beat the shit out of me out there. I'm not saying that I can win against a UFC fight. I've seen people say that, like I could be a UFC girl and they get their ass beat. Like I'm not saying that at all. I'm not taking any credit away from a woman. But like, if you really think that, then like take a look at the statistical evidence and tell me that it's not right. Because it is. Yeah. The same guy kept winning the race every single time. Right. And he was a male.
So I say, why not just give them their own league?
Give them their own league.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we said, we don't have any problem. I have no problem with that. I'm cool with it. But if you want to identify as a fucking T-Rex,
you ready for this? Ready for this one though? This leads into another topic. I don't know if you want to get into this or not. There's the whole equal rights pay for men and women's league, right? So you got people pushing saying that the WNBA ladies should be making just as much as the NBA.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Excuse me. I'm still getting used to this thing. All right. So we got to realize something. The NBA we don't just set the wages for these players because we like men more. They're selling tickets. There's a demand for those games. People want to watch LeBron play basketball.
Yeah.
So it's not saying that women shouldn't get paid as much as men. They should be getting paid, but they have to still, at the end of the day, there has to be a demand for people that want to go watch the WNBA.
Right.
So that's the market. That's a whole economic factor thing that we can get into, or we can just. That's a whole other topic right there.
They bump their pay up a little bit, I feel like of course.
Yeah, let's do that.
If we some more money.
Yeah.
But and I believe that a lot of females could probably make more money overseas than they can in the WNBA.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's just like, you got to think of the league gets a lot of its revenue from attendance.
Right. So from the demand of people that want to watch the game.
So if the average NBA game averages maybe 20,000 fans per game, well, with the pandemic, it's a lot different now.
Yeah.
But if the crowd revenue, the TV deals and everything, NBA is more of a hot commodity than WNBA.
Right.
So it's
just
like
that's just the way it is.
And it's just like, and it's not even nothing against the females. Like I feel like they should be paid more, but at the same time, they're not grossing as much as the NBA.
Yep.
If you
I hit the ching. You heard that?
Yeah. So if you are a league that maybe your average crowd size is 5,000 versus the 15,000 extra seats that's not being filled, you're not going to bring in as much revenue, which means they can't really pay y'all more if the revenue is not there.
It's simple.
If they're not really
However,
buying merchandise.
But to piggyback on what you said right before that, is if we can find a way to pay women more money, obviously let's do it. Yeah. I don't think anybody's trying to stop that. I don't think so. I could be wrong. If somebody has some information that they want to show, share it with us.
Am I using the right word? Logistics?
Logistics, yeah. The logistics are what is necessary to get, because LeBron James is gonna make as much. LeBron James can make as much money as he can because he has a demand for LeBron James. And there has to be a demand. And with the females, we can't just pay people because we think that they deserve it.
Right.
That's not the way the world works.
If it was that easy, hell yeah.
If it was that easy, we'd all have mansions. We'd all be driving Benzes. It would be if it was that simple. We could just pay people what we want to pay them because it's fair.
I still think wages still need to mirror one another within. Right, like within
sports is different. I feel like
sports is different. Yeah, I just feel like in like real life.
Oh, you're talking about a not regular job?
I think everyone should be paid the same. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Men, women.
Yeah. So like a woman doctor should make the same as the male doctor.
Yeah.
With if they have the same degree, they have the same qualifications, same work experience, they should make the same amount of money. Period.
Yeah.
And nobody's disagreeing with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like with the WN, like how many people? Like for one,
I can't name one player at the NWA. Unfortunately,
exactly.
I can't.
So you would need like a
I wish I could say that I could.
You're just being honest.
Like Lisa Leslie is the only one I can really
cancel Scott because he said he doesn't know an NBA player.
No, they'll probably find something else. So
And the crazy thing is, you probably will get canceled for that.
Right.
Sure.
If you were a public figurehead that was like on TV every day. That might.
He just said he didn't know.
He just says he doesn't know a WNBA player. You got
and he's racist too. He hates women and he's racist.
Yeah,
I
right.
saw some stupid shit on Facebook.
Get closer to it.
I saw some stupid shit on Facebook. So I saw like somebody shared some shit, and it was just like men holding doors open for women is like a sign of a man controlling a woman. Some stupid shit like that.
Oh my god.
So like one thing, and I'm not against feminism, but sometimes it's just like with
that's just
the liberals.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's just like, come on now.
I've seen that.
Some shit is just.
Yo, you know that reminds me.
I've seen clips online of women just flipping out because a guy opens the door for them or something. It's just like, what?
You don't gotta be rude.
Do y'all really want chivalry?
You don't have to say thank you.
Why wouldn't you?
It's like you don't have to say thank you to the man, but just walk past the door.
It turns into the victim shit again. It turns into I'm the victim and I'm getting it worse than you and da 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 da.
Yeah, I can think of a friend
trying to be kind.
I can think of a friend that we went to high school with. This girl put a post on Facebook. It was this big, long, like huge. It could have been a paragraph of a novel about how she was riding her bike and a guy hit on her, and it was like, I'm waiting for the punchline. Like, what did he do? Did he touch you? Did he grab you? He just hit on her, and it was like this needs to stop. This world is getting these patriarchy and
the mansplaining.
Yeah, and it's like,
oh my god,
it's like I get it,
and
I get the whole like. I get the feminist aspect of women are tired of being treated like they're just something to look at, or you know what I'm saying, like the whole cat calling thing. Hey babe, what are you doing tonight? That's gotta suck to live in a world like that. So I get why there's pushback on all that, but at the same time, men, cis white males, whatever you want to call them, they are naturally attracted to women, and they're going to hit on a girl once in a while. It's gonna happen,
and it's not like
you just you can just shut them down and walk away. Right. And if they keep continuing after that, then it's a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem. Like
that's sexual harassment.
Like okay, so we all know about OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm. OnlyFans, yeah.
So I've seen
is cancel culture getting in there now too?
Not necessarily, but it can.
Yeah.
But I've seen somebody like
people
who
are
has
opinionated.
one,
Yeah.
and it's just like if you posting all this naked content and shit, if you whatever you doing, if you playing with your pussy, whatever, that's one thing. But don't get mad when you have dudes in your inbox.
Oh my God, that's the fucking worst.
You are going to have to accept that that comes with the territory.
That comes with the territory.
I'm just gonna be completely honest, okay, about something that embarrassed the shit out of me. This girl, her profile picture, her fucking tits were out, right? She looked like, I mean, this girl looked like a fucking piece of meat, pretty much, you know. And I kind of catcalled a little bit in her like inbox, like, hey, like you look really good or some shit. She got like so offended at the fact that I said, like, I was kind. I wasn't like over the top. She was like, does that ever work on anybody? I want to be like, yo, like you basically have a bullseye as your picture. You know what I mean? Like, how do you expect people not to say stuff about how you look?
That's what I'm saying. It's like if you want people to act a certain way towards you, you have
I'll admit it. I did it, and I'm not someone to do that a lot. So I felt they literally made me feel so horrible. I was like, I'm never doing that again because it was literally like so embarrassing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you want people to act a certain way towards, I know. If you want people to act a certain way towards you, you have to act a certain way for them to act a certain way towards you. It has to be. That's a two-way street.
Like if you're posting nude content, if you're telling people to hit you up for your videos and pictures and shit like that, somebody's gonna try you.
Yeah,
you gotta know.
This girl was posting too. Like,
yeah, some things is like not to say like a female deserves to be disrespected or anything like that, but if you're doing some shit like that, expect a lot of people to be trying to get at you. Like if you posting naked pictures and you doing this, like, okay, if you're a prostitute selling pussy and you advertise that you sell pussy, expect people to be in your inbox. People gonna try to fuck you for free.
That's what's gonna happen.
It's part of the fucking territory.
You attract what you put out. You know what I'm saying?
It's always funny too. Like when I'm like talking to a friend, they're like, "Yeah, I brought this stripper home," and it's like,
please, any females that see this, if you have anything against what we're saying, we apologize. We're not trying to offend anybody. We're not trying to get canceled.
Comment though. Tell me what you think.
Tell me, are we wrong?
I'm ready to talk and have a dialogue with anybody about this.
Yeah, like we could sit down. We could bring you on the podcast. I would like to have a female on the podcast to really, say their piece about it.
Yep.
Because we as men, we can't really.
I've had 2 feminists on this podcast in the last month.
Yeah,
there you go.
We can't. We're talking from a male's perspective. So tell us, are we wrong for saying like. If you're gonna post naked pictures, if you're gonna promote an OnlyFans page, Pornhub, whatever, if you're gonna pretty much promote porn, and does it come with the territory that some guys are gonna be in your inbox trying to get at you?
Yeah. Right. Like I was saying, dude, it's funny because I'll be like talking to a buddy and they'll be like, yeah, like I brought a stripper home the other day. And I'm like, yeah, she's not a doctor, like you brought a stripper home. It's kind of what she does, dude. She takes all your money,
Right.
Like, it wasn't like you got a
about
fucking, it wasn't like you got an MD at the house or anything, It's nothing to be too happy about.
Right.
So I don't know.
So we were talking about cancel culture and Jimmy Fallon is under fire right now.
No, that was old. That's all old stuff.
What's the new one though? The one that happened today.
Like I said, it's Mr. Potato Head and Pepe Le Pew are all the newest ones. The
Mr. Potato Head,
inanimate objects.
And then you said it was Lana Del Rey or something like that.
Lana Del Rey also was early, like 10 months ago or something like that. I was just reading about it. She posted online because apparently someone called her out for her lyrics not being empowering for women. So she posted she posted a bunch of rappers' names and was like, well, these girls get called. I can say whatever they want and I can't. And that's kind of fucked up. She actually just voiced her opinion. And everyone she named were I think there was mostly black people that she named. So everyone's like, she's a racist for throwing black people under the bus.
I mean, that sounds like a way too complex situation for me to even touch on. I don't know the basics.
Okay, so I could touch on this.
Let's do it.
So I can agree with what she's saying. The Nicki Minaj had the Anaconda song.
Yeah,
Cardi
she was
B.
mentioned. Her name was mentioned.
That's a fact.
Cardi B and they had her and Megan Thee Stallion had the joint the WAP joint.
Yeah.
So it's like the part of the hook is like there's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes
right.
It's about.
So it is a sexual song. Wow. Like I feel like me being a black man, I feel like it's okay for us to do a lot more. Like, okay, so I can come up with the most positive song, most inspirational song, and and this is what I mean with white artists versus black artists. We could put out the ratchet shit, and it's cool. As soon as a white person put out some ratchet shit, y'all trying to be black. Yeah. Or as soon as we put out some positive, inspirational shit, nobody really want to fuck with it.
That's crazy.
And that's just the culture.
It's crazy though.
And this is what blows my mind about cancel culture, because shit comes in like Eminem. He done killed his baby mama.
Yeah, Jesus.
20 times in 20 different albums.
Mom.
Yeah. 2 times in one album, I think.
And I love Eminem. I don't think Eminem should be canceled. I don't really think
he says
nobody
some
should be.
really derogatory things too.
All you have to do is not listen to it.
It's very simple.
And don't buy it.
Yeah.
Don't support it.
Exactly.
But you can't tell people what they can listen to, you can't cancel. Everyone else has their own opinion.
R. Kelly. Well, all the shit he did, fucked up.
His music though, still amazing.
I can listen to R. Kelly. I still listen to R. Kelly.
I
won't cancel R. Kelly. If you feel like you should cancel R. Kelly, by all means, that's your choice.
R. Kelly, man, what the fuck?
He's still in jail.
Did you hear that 10, 15-minute song he put out that he just admitted to everything? Have you guys ever heard that?
No.
He literally put out a 15-minute song called "I Did It," and he literally talks about all the underage women in the song.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. It's a real thing.
And not to take up for him.
I didn't know that.
It's called "I Did It" or something.
And not to take up for him, but
I thought it was a joke.
This is like, black and white culture again. I feel like if he was a white artist, they would have been more sympathetic to the fact that he was sexually assaulted as a child.
Oh yeah. That's a good point.
And like with the one girl, I saw the whole Surviving R. Kelly thing, and
I watched that too.
Literally went to all his court dates. He's on trial for this.
Yeah.
Right.
And you still go fuck with him. He eventually invites you to his house. He eventually has sex with you. You're underage, but it's like you still chase him. Like, even with these parents, even after the fact that his case was over, he was found not guilty, you still got parents that's allowing their kids to go on stage with this man. If I see that you're a pedophile, or I heard that you're a pedophile, I don't want my kids around you.
Yeah.
And all this because I feel like they pimp their kids out to try to get some fame.
Yeah,
they exploited him for his mental illness, for his mental sickness. And I will say that because, like I say, I don't want to make it a race thing, but when you have a white person with the same shit, and they are quick to point out that somebody has some mental health issues,
right,
which
could
led to that shit, like with Dylan Roof and the guy that shot the movie theater, like even like the black guy that shot the little white child back last summer.
Oh,
and
yeah,
people
yeah,
like
yeah.
White Lives Matter. Whereas and this dude got caught
Dylan,
like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Dylan.
Yeah.
And the guy got caught like literally 5 minutes after the shit happened. So it was just like
no, it was Cannon Hanan.
Cannon.
Yeah, the kid who got shot by the
Cannon.
Now to be completely real, the situation was fucked up. What happened? That dude needs to go to jail for that.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like. But like you said, you're right. The way the narrative comes about it, it's like demon, horrible person, put him on the electric chair right away. Whereas it's the other way around. It's like, oh, that person was on these all meds. He was seeing a psychiatrist. He was crazy. All the signs were there. We should have prevented this. That's what you're right. That is definitely true.
Yeah, so
it's a good point.
And even with the we talked about on the last podcast, the alligator. And Harambe,
right? Yeah.
So just like the narratives, and I feel like
consistency.
Yeah.
And I feel like the media plays a lot.
With Harambe, the media was like, "Wow, what were these parents doing? What an idiot! I can't believe they would let their kid go in there." And then when the child got ate by an alligator, it was like, "Oh, this poor mother. She must have looked away for 2 seconds, and it must have just happened, and it's not her fault." Oh, we need
hold everybody the same account, like hold everybody to the same standard of accountability.
Right. Pick which side you're on, and do that for everybody.
So it's just like, you get back to the cancel culture thing, and I feel like the media plays a lot into it too.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
They will, like with R. Kelly, they played his shit to death.
Yeah.
I mean, Harvey Weinstein only got like a 30-second clip.
Right. Wherever they can get eyeballs on them, that's what the media's all about. They'll push any story that.
Yeah, that R. Kelly was like for the whole world to see, man. And I'm telling you, he put out a song like.
You want to know what the epitome of?
But it was about men with their daughters, like saying "fuck my daughter," pretty much. That's like what he talked about, was like people selling their children, pretty much.
And that was true. Surviving R. Kelly that's exactly what the hell was happening.
Yeah,
because
like they were getting like their.
You know what I was just thinking though is like this all tie this we're because race has a big play in this, right? Now look at what happened with OJ.
Mm-hmm.
The way the media took that and turned it into a circus where it became all about this, a black man with a white wife that he murdered, and the cop was a Ku Klux Klan member, and it was all about race.
Mm-hmm.
People forgot about the victims and what I'm saying, like the evidence and all that. It all became about, should we let this person go because he had a racist cop that was trying to get him in trouble, and all this stuff, like all these outside factors played a role into how they decided what happened with OJ.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Instead of just he should be on trial for what he did.
OJ did it.
Yeah,
I'm convinced now.
Yeah, he
definitely did it. He wrote a book that said, if I did it, this is what I would have done. And then he wrote about it. He confessed.
I don't think he did it by himself, though. I don't think he did it alone.
That could be true. That could be an episode for the conspiracy theory joint we do.
Right. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. I think that he definitely did it, though.
He did it. He definitely did it. Yeah.
Just by the way,
and if he didn't physically,
I'll tell you what though, his lawyer Johnny Cochran, most epic, the most amazing defense ever in any court case of all time, the greatest court case defended.
Yeah. Hey, look at this monkey. What is this monkey here? This does not make sense.
Yeah, but he won, dude. Johnny Cochran was able to create enough chaos. He knew that he had no chance of winning legally, but if he created enough chaos and turned the court into a circus, he had a chance, and it worked.
Right, and like with OJ. And I feel like if he didn't physically do it, if he didn't physically have something to do with it, he definitely has something to do with it.
Right. Here's what I always say: like, then who the fuck did it then? If it's not him,
right.
Where is the guy?
We can keep this going because we can take a quick break.
Oh, I didn't know we can do that.
Yeah,
all right, let's do that then.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. We will be right back because we still got some more shit to say.
Yeah. We ain't over yet. We'll be right back after this commercial.
Right now.
And check out our sponsor right now. And welcome back to NerdBoyz Nickel City Chronicles collab.
So we gonna shout out my boy Steve O. Johnson again, Mr. Matty Ross himself. Steve O. Johnson, MattyRoss.com. That's MattyRouse.com. Check it out, and we gonna get some shit. We got some good stuff. My jacket I got on right now for the camera. I'm gonna stand up a little bit.
Yeah,
nice that is.
Yeah, look
nice
at that
shirt too, by the way. I like
nice leather, right? Real leather, right? Real leather.
Just dope.
Oh yeah, so
get you a leather mask.
Oh yeah, the leather mask, the Matty Ross mask.
That's the new look.
I don't have my mask with me right now, but dope, got them in different colors. Got some sweatsuits online now, so MattyRoss.com. He's our unofficial sponsor.
Yeah, this episode is brought to you by MattyRoss.com.
He gave us his blessing, so we good.
So during the break, we discovered some stuff about like T.I. and kind of went with like a little bit with the cancel culture stuff. I guess you can kind of throw it in the same bucket a little bit, right?
He did lose his role on Ant-Man 3. He's not going to be in Ant-Man 3 anymore because of these allegations where multiple women came forward, said they were drugged, raped.
Yeah. So that brings me to the next thing. The question is, do we, in a situation where there's an accusation being made, do we run out and cancel the person right away as a society, or do we let the courts handle it first? What if he has to defend himself and say, look, this is all just a hit piece on me. None of it's real. Should we hear him out? I say yes. You gotta you gotta hear him out. Let him go to court. This all could be a hit piece. You never know.
And we gotta understand that as people too, because like as fast as we're quick to cancel somebody, we also have to think like, what if it was us? What if somebody came and accused us of some fucked up shit?
Yeah.
Like, oh, D did this and that. I'm going to defend myself. If I didn't do it, I'm definitely going to defend myself.
Right.
I would definitely consult a lawyer to see, how I should go about it. But I'm also going to be smart about the shit. Like, I can't just go out there and just say, like, when it comes to like legal shit like this, you can't really just go out and talk about it because that's where they could get you all.
Yeah, it's like you're guilty until you're proven innocent type thing.
Yeah.
And here's the way I look at it too. I think there's like a fine line between like cancel culture and then people that are just like the scum of the earth that should be, I guess, canceled in a way, because there's like a line between like, oh, this person just expressed what they said online to like this person's being accused by 21 women for rape.
Right.
Like,
and not denying it.
There's a difference between those two.
And not denying it too. When
so,
someone's like, okay, I did a little, like, let me give you an example. Andrew Cuomo. Right now, Andrew Cuomo's being accused of all this sexual assault and all this stuff, and he hasn't denied, maybe denied a little bit of it, but he hasn't denied it yet. He came out and said his public statement was exactly like this. Oh yeah, maybe my actions did have some harm on some people, and I'm sorry for that. Whoa, wait a minute. That's an epic fail right there, bro. Like, you just admitted to being these accusations in a weird way, and you're still our governor now.
Right.
Walk away.
And not to defend him, but really like the context of it. Like, okay, like if you got drunk and maybe groped a woman, sometimes shit like that happens, and it's not right for you to do it. But at the end of the day, shit, I done got my dick grabbed by a female in the club who was drunk.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, if you're in a situation where it's like that, it's a little shit happens, what are you going to do? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah, listen, I'll tell you a story right now. I was working at the mall, at the Galleria Mall, for Hickory Farms. Mm-hmm. And this girl, this black girl too, by the way, just happened to be black. That means nothing to this story. But anyways, I'm showing her the candies and the sausages that we have, and she just flat out grabbed my ass, like pinched it, and goes, "Damn, you cute." And I started laughing. No, I started laughing. I didn't care. It didn't bother me one bit. Now, I guess if that would have bothered somebody, then we're talking different. But
it would have kind of bothered
me. I
wouldn't
guess
have made a big fuss
at the end of the day,
like, don't touch me.
I guess at the end of the day, we're talking about gray areas here that we shouldn't be so black and white about it. We got to treat every individual case differently. Yeah. Like, I could have been all like on my self-righteous shit and be like, hey, don't touch me, that's sexual assault. But it was like, we were gelling. We had, we were just talking. Like, it was, she just did what she did and whatever. I walked away. I don't care. It didn't bother me.
And it's kind of a fucked up story because I know somebody that this happened to. This person, him and the female were, hanging out. They had a great night. Brian back. He, touched her knee. She was kind of apprehensive about it, so immediately put away.
Mm-hmm.
Next day, he's getting accused of rape.
Wow.
And it was just like, and it's so fucked up because my whole thing, like, I understand it's a lot of damaged females out here. It's more females than we really know about that go through sexual assault, and I personally know plenty.
Yeah.
And it's a fucked up thing to go through. And I will agree with that. And I'll agree with, respecting women and stuff like that. But don't let that damage that happened to you fuck up another person's life, especially under a misunderstanding.
Yeah,
right.
Like, this guy he was in the moment. They were having a good night. They vibed well, and he just touched her knee. She immediately pulled away, and like a gentleman, he fell back.
Right.
So no reason to be, accusing somebody of rape.
He shouldn't. Yeah, that
sexual assault. You fucking with somebody's life.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's my whole thing. Like, if you're a sexual assault victim, my heart goes out to you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, don't try to destroy somebody based on your damage or because of a misunderstanding.
Because you feel that way, right?
If somebody literally really sexually assaulted you, you have every right to go after them.
Oh, yeah.
You have every right to feel some type of way about it. Like, I will have nothing against somebody going after the person that violated them. But if somebody didn't violate you, what's the Brian Banks? Hell of a football player. Should have been in the NFL. He actually made it to the NFL, played a few preseason games, but his whole life was ruined over a misunderstanding that, a female said that he sexually assaulted her. I guess I seen the movie, they were in the hallway making out or whatever, and I forgot exactly what happened, but, he went to jail for about 5 or 6 years on parole.
Damn.
He's since been exonerated, but at the end of the day...
Oh, he did get exonerated?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Everything
That makes
worked out for him.
that almost makes it almost not worse, but it's almost like, there you go. There's your prime example right there.
And this girl got a settlement from the school and all that.
Yeah.
Spent it all.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, keep going.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
No, you're good.
What's up with Louis C.K.?
Louis C.K., yeah.
Because I heard he's making a comeback right now in the comedy realm. He's selling tickets. He's doing shows.
Really? I didn't know that.
I heard that. I could be wrong, though. Now, what he did was kind of fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
But he didn't even deny it or fight it or go to court or anything. He just said, yeah, I did it.
He made jokes about it.
He talked about it. That's
yeah.
the weird
So what did he do? He pulls
That's
out
the
his
weirdest part.
He pulls out his Jimmy in front of some girls and starts beating it right in front of her.
I think there's definitely like a line between being accused of something and then having like multiple women accuse you of the exact same thing. That's like really unique. And he was accused of the exact same thing. Having the exact same thing happen to these women.
Like Bill Cosby.
I mean,
I didn't say he did with Bill Cosby.
The weird part about Louis C.K. is that if you go back and look at his jokes, he talks about it.
Yeah, and people laughed about it with him. Yeah, not at him, with him.
Not knowing that it was some real shit.
It was real.
And same like with T.I. with Bill Cosby, like they pretty much accused of the same shit.
Yeah,
drugging and
the same,
And Bill Cosby, like with him, what's so fucked up about him is like a lot of this shit that happened were like 60s and 70s, and how is it that a black man during that time period got away with this shit? It's beyond me, because a lot of them were white women.
Well, Bill Cosby was a cash cow back then. All those networks, and they all wanted Bill Cosby because that was, you know what I'm saying?
And it's crazy because,
that's why he got away with it.
Quaaludes
that brings you to Cardi B.
Cardi B, exactly.
She's getting away with it right now.
She's not canceled at all, and she admitted to drugging and robbing men when she was a stripper.
And then she interviewed the president after.
So my question is the feminists out there. I mean, the feminists that are quick to point out it's okay for men to do this, but women can't do this. Is it okay for a woman to brag about drugging men and taking their money?
Right.
When Bill Cosby did the same thing, and
he didn't take nobody's money.
He became literally the definition of Satan because of that, which he kind of deserves. But still, why? Where's the normalcy here?
Cardi B got away with some
crazy shit,
and with Bill Cosby,
she talked about it too, just like Louis C.K.
Yeah,
And about Bill Cosby, it was just like a lot of that was in the '60s and shit, and it was just kind of like Like Janice Dickerson actually said she fabricated her story to sell like a memoir or some shit.
Yeah, I
so,
bet you.
Yeah, we were saying, there's always
I bet you
there's,
there's
so
a lot
if
of
there's
it.
20 people that accuse you, I feel like there's going to be like 2 or 3 of
But
those
the
that just
difference-
hopped on.
the difference-
Maybe there's 2 or 3 that you don't know about.
The difference
too,
between
though.
him and Cardi B, though, Cardi B is the one that said she did this.
Yeah.
It wasn't an accusation. It came from her mouth.
Yeah, she joked around just like Louis
She's
CK.
talking about literally. I mean, you could call it rape, and that's what it is.
Yeah, she definitely.
Even if she didn't sexually assault him, she still robbed him.
Drugged him and robbed him. It's like that's okay. And then they pick her. Joe Biden picks her to be the DNC speaker to talk to him at the Democrat National Convention.
Yeah, that's.
Come on, bro. This world is crazy.
Yeah.
And all the cancel culture. No offense, but like all the cancel culture people, you're voting. That's the party you're voting for.
Yeah.
That blows my mind right there.
And I can't stand either one of them.
There's
like,
no consistency. There's no
I really
consistency.
feel like with politics, if like,
Politics.
I feel like it should be more than one party that should be, able to run for president and governor, mayor.
Yeah.
You should be able to be a libertarian or
The problem is we do have. It's like we know there's more parties than just 2, but we also know that deep down that none of those parties have a chance except for Democrat, Republican, and the problem is the money.
Yeah.
So these donors are throwing billions of dollars at Republican Party, Democrat Party, and the Libertarians and the Green Party just have to kind of run off grassroots, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. The problem is we have a system in place with these what do you call them? These
Jimmy's.
Yeah, whatever. We've got a system in place where the money is coming. The donors are running the show. So there's no chance for somebody who really wants to make change, that has good policy, that works across the aisle and helps out people on the left and the right, and actually wants to see the world get better. Those people don't matter because they're not raising money.
Right.
They just want to know what corporations that you got behind you that are donating money to you.
Here's what I want to do.
Lobbyists. That's the word I was
play
looking for.
a game.
Lobbyists.
We should play a game, and it'll be called Guilty or Innocent. And we can I could bring up names, and we can say either if they're guilty or it was just cancel culture.
You got enough? You got names on deck right now?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Ready? Okay, so we'll go.
Me and you will say guilty or innocent. He gives the names.
Okay. Well, I'll go first. Kevin Spacey.
Guilty.
Louis C.K.
Guilty.
Michael Jackson.
Not guilty.
Ooh, no.
Not guilty?
Of what?
Of rape? Of sexual
I don't think he
harassment,
was.
rape.
I'm gonna
I
say
would
no.
like to hear- I would
I'm gonna
like-
say no. Here's where I'm gonna go with that. I think he was probably doing some sketchy, weird shit, but I don't think he did anything sexual. I think
Okay.
he might have been laying in a bed with a kid or something weird, like maybe that's his fire. I don't think I can't see him doing that though.
I don't know. I just think he did. I think
I
that he's guilty.
I'm gonna
I
go
don't-
with you.
just
I'm gonna say not guilty.
convinced.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because Michael Jackson, I feel like he
I
was
love
the.
Michael.
I feel
He
like
might have been
was
weird,
the-
but maybe not guilty though.
I don't think he. Cause, like I literally watched a video of one of his concerts. He had them come get a bug off the stage because he didn't want to squash the bug.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like Michael Jackson.
I believe you. I believe you, bro. I think you're right on something. I don't think he's guilty. I don't.
And Michael Jackson had a lot of power.
Yeah.
So they tried to destroy him.
Yeah.
He bought the Beatles catalog. He told Paul McCartney, "I'm going to buy your catalog." Paul McCartney didn't believe him, and then when he did,
He bought the
fell
rights
out.
to the Beatles, yeah.
Yeah, so if you listen to Michael Jackson's history album, especially like the one song that sticks out to me, that's like a really sad song, is "Stranger in Moscow," where he's like swift and sudden fall from grace. Like he's pretty much explaining his life that's going on at the time, his mindset and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think Michael Jackson. I think Michael Jackson might have had a weird relationship with kids.
Yeah, it's some weird shit going on for
But,
sure.
like,
'Cause
that's
he
what I'm
definitely
saying.
Crossed the line, I think, with like boundaries with kids because of like the fact that he would kind of groom them, but he's like a child himself, you know, Michael.
And
That's what it is. You just said it right there.
Yeah, but I feel like
He never grew up.
crosses the
Hold on.
line.
Let me take the mic for 1 second. My bad.
No, you're cool. You're cool.
Because you just gave me the answer on a platter.
Yeah.
The truth about Michael Jackson is that he never grew up because of the way his dad treated him. He wanted to go back to his childhood, and he finally found some kids to do it with. I don't think anything weird happened. I think as
You
weird
ever
as
see that
as weird as it got is that he
Yes.
wanted to be a kid
Survivor
with them.
Neverland?
Survivor Neverland.
And I'm gonna tell you about that. The one guy, his name Wade something.
You can question them for sure. There's definitely some
Yeah.
ulterior
The dude,
motives.
after this dude violated you as a child, you still called him to get married on Neverland Ranch.
Yeah.
Right, that makes no sense.
That makes no sense.
Right
at
then
all.
and there, your whole story is in
There's
pieces.
a lot of holes in a lot of the
Yeah,
stories.
it doesn't make sense.
I will agree with that. I will say that I wasn't completely convinced with
so,
that
like Michael Jackson even said it himself.
Because I know those hit pieces. That's a real thing.
Things I
that's a reality. People make hit
happened
pieces on people. That happens all the time.
The shit that happened in '93. Michael Jackson. The shit that happened in '93. Michael Jackson said that he wished he did not settle with them. He just wanted to get it out the way. He was under a lot of stress.
That makes sense too.
He said he wished that he would not have settled with him. He said he wished he would have fought that, found not guilty, because he's like, he even said it himself that he feel like that set the tone for how people viewed him.
Yeah, I think he was just a different breed. I think that he tried to conform to stuff so much that it fucked his brain up. Like I remember when he had to kiss Lisa Marie Presley in front of everybody, and it was just so weird how they kissed. It was like really awkward, you know. He didn't seem like himself.
Michael Jackson, I want to say he was a child. I would say Michael Jackson, if you listen to Michael Jackson's History album, that album alone would tell you everything about Michael Jackson that you needed to know.
Yeah.
Because he spoke on some real shit. Like a lot of shit that he talked about in that album is going on today. Like Michael Jackson, to me, did not do none of that shit. I am 100% certain in my mind that he did not do none of that.
And you're not alone on that.
And you know what? I'm going to say this too. Regardless of what he did or what happened, that dude is a genius and a legend forever. And his music will always be, he's the greatest. It's Michael fucking Jackson. 1985, baby.
Yeah, he's been dead for a long time.
I mean, think about it. The year 1985, he was the king of the world in that year, 1985.
I remember where I was when I heard it. I was in Kenny Smith's car. I was with Robin Allaire, me, and Robin Allaire, and me and Robin.
When you heard what?
When we heard Michael Jackson was dead.
I'm picking my glasses up.
And we pulled up to the car next to us, and the car next to us goes, "Michael Jackson's dead." That's how we found out.
And his doctor was giving him all types of shit.
I was like, "What?" Yeah, I was like, Michael Jackson's dead? And then I think my person next to me was like, good. I think he said good. I think person next to me, I don't know. Yeah,
there's a lot of people that feel that way about him. They think he did it.
Yeah. Well, I got a few more then. Go ahead. Bill Cosby.
Guilty.
Okay.
I will say, I don't think he's fully guilty.
There's probably a few in there.
No, I think there's definitely some lies. But I think there's enough guilt that I'm just going to say guilty without a doubt.
Guilty. I think he's guilty. Well, we got T.I. now.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say not guilty. I'm gonna
start out, and this is how I feel everybody should start out. You should always start out not guilty.
Yeah.
The whole concept of believe the women first, no matter what. I get where you're coming from, but we got to be careful of ruining people's lives off the bat without even looking into the situation.
Of course.
So I'm always gonna start off with not guilty until I do my own research. This is the first time I heard about T.I. was just now, actually.
Yeah, but like here's what always will kind of persuade me a little bit. Like I said, if the women that are coming out to accuse this person are specific in what they say and they all kind of match one another, and then like the level of harassment is so severe that you can't help but throw a judgment, you know what I mean? There's sometimes when you hear things that I just read some stuff about that T.I. stuff that was like vicious, man.
Yeah,
like
but
absolutely.
If someone's gonna design a hit piece, they're gonna make it vicious.
These women they had a very similar story. They were
drugged, maybe it's
they
true.
Were raped. They were threatened for their lives. I mean, I like to give somebody the benefit of the doubt, but when you hear like just as a human,
I'm gonna at least hear him out first.
When you hear the severity of
I know, but I'm gonna at least hear him out first.
That's how I feel about it, though. I just feel like when I hear like, and it's super severe, like weird shit. Like even Louis C.K. Like. He wasn't like forcing himself on people, but he was just doing weird psychological shit to people. Like that's just you're gonna fuck somebody up doing some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna know what the fuck's going on, you know, and they're gonna make jokes about it. You got some balls, dude. That's what I think. I think if you're gonna actually just talk, even Cardi B, whatever D or B, whatever the fuck her name is, like she like that's another one. It's like, man, like she's just talking about it, like everybody's just okay with it,
right?
Yeah, like.
But who else you got? Anyone else?
I don't know if I can't think.
That might be it, right?
It's a Louis C.K. thing.
Yeah,
I just think that's such a.
And back to Bill Cosby, like you know, with the whole Quaaludes and shit like that. That was the 60s.
It was kind of the way things were going.
Yeah.
I mean, you got from Wolf of Wall Street talking about how they were taking Quaaludes and passing out and shit.
Joe Biden,
guilty. Him and Cuomo guilty
with that girl.
Yeah, guilty. You can tell, dude. You want to know why I can tell? First of all, listen to how you ever heard her interview?
Yeah, I did.
She's in tears, crying, thinking about it. You could tell she's coming from a real place. You could tell it's not fake. The Stormy Daniels thing with Trump, you can see she has no emotion. You can see that she's there to get paid. And then she
Yeah,
admitted
that's
later
probably
on.
true, too.
And she admitted later on, yeah, it's not true. It didn't happen.
Oh,
no one even knows about that. But regardless of the fact, you were asking about with Cuomo or with Cuomo.
I'll get to Cuomo.
With Cuomo, he admitted it. Biden, the reason why you can tell is because I already said, number one, the way she said it. And number two, look at Joe Biden when he's around women. He's always touching them, grabbing them. Yeah. There's so many videos.
And what he got accused of, it's like that Joe Biden would do that.
Yeah.
He pinned her up and stuck his fingers
Dude,
out. I'm like, yeah, he
listen,
probably stuck his fingers in
here's
that
the thing.
Like,
People,
he probably didn't even know he did it.
Here's the thing. I want people to understand this. I'm going to say this to the microphone real quick. I want people to understand what I'm saying. When a powerful political party chooses you to become president, nothing can stop you. You will be president. I bet you won't. I'm going to bet you right now, Andrew Cuomo has a chance to become president. Even in the midst.
I got names.
Even in the midst of everything that's happening right now, he will not. Okay. He's not going to be taken away. He will not step down as governor.
No.
And I bet you he's going to rise higher than he is today.
Okay, so next Cuomo. That's the next one.
Guilty.
Is he guilty or not?
He admitted it.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like he admitted it.
Okay, I got a good one then. Trump.
Which one?
I don't know.
Just any of them?
I mean,
you're saying has it ever happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, guilty.
100%.
Guilty.
Donald Trump?
Guilty.
Yeah, no, 100%.
He even said sometimes you got to grab him by the pussy.
He literally got caught saying it.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. Donald Trump in the 1980s was probably doing all types of fucked up shit with women.
Yeah, so I'm just want to hear. I want to bring out names here. You know, I think
because the Stormy Daniels thing was interesting that everybody was talking about that for a long time. You notice how no one talks about it anymore because she came out and said, "I lied." And then as soon as that happened, everybody stopped talking about it. Nope. Most people don't even know she even said that. Yeah. Most people still walk around today thinking that he raped Stormy Daniels.
Which brings me back to Michael Jackson. The kid in '93 also came out years later and said Michael Jackson never touched him.
Yeah, there was.
And there you go. When somebody comes out and admits to lying, we need to pay attention to that shit more. Because nobody cares about that.
When it comes to Michael Jackson and the way I look at it, like there was just some of that stuff in there just seemed like, man, that could be true, you know, like especially when he was like having the sleepovers. And I understand maybe he was innocent, maybe he didn't have any intent, but I think that there was some things that crossed some boundaries with kids.
Yeah.
And when you're a parent, you know this. Yeah. You leave your kid with somebody, they're the guardian. They gotta be safe, man. You gotta make sure your kid is safe. When you leave your kid with another adult, they have full responsibility over your children.
Oh yeah.
And if you have this adult like playing around in bed with them and stuff, I mean, would you feel comfortable with that? I personally wouldn't. I understand. Yeah. Trust me, I love Michael Jackson. I wanted to be like him. I remember dancing in the mirror like him every day, thinking I got the moonwalk down. I got the kick down, and so I can still do the kick. But yeah, it was hard to hear some of that stuff because he's so beloved. I love him so much, but just some of this stuff, because just by his mannerisms and the way he is with children, he's very comfortable around them, and he almost is a child himself.
That's why I think that's the answer to the question, is that he just wants to be like kids. Yeah. I think he never grew up.
And the thing about it, his explanation about that might sound weird to some people, but he pretty much said, like, you know, something to the tune that kids can't hurt you. Like, yeah, he feels comfortable around kids, like,
because he's been played a lot.
I'm a grown man. And I'm more comfortable around my kids than I am around most adults because,
not only that, he's been played so many times by different record labels, by his parent, his dad, or whatever. Yeah. He knows that adults will play you, but he knows that with children, he's like, I think there's some mental issues there that needs to be unraveled, which isn't going to happen because he passed away. But I'm saying, like, we need to look at that. Like, that could be really what was going on with him.
He might just be more comfortable around kids. You know, kids are, you know, He had a giving personality. Like, he was a giving person. Yeah, he even dressed in like I forgot.
Dude, his house was the Neverland Ranch, dude. Yeah. He wanted to be a big kid the whole rest of his life, dude.
I don't know. It's just like, that's the way I look at it. I look at
it looks horrible.
If I was a parent and that was my kid, I would think something weird.
Like, certain things are okay.
The kid should never be in.
Look, put it this way: if I find out that it was true, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
but I'm still.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying.
I'm still
if
looking at it.
If I found out it wasn't true, I wouldn't be surprised.
Exactly,
either,
same here.
Because I would I want to believe that. In my heart of hearts, I believe that he's innocent. I always kind of will, but like, there's just so much weird shit that makes me think like he probably crossed some boundaries.
Yeah.
If not,
I believe he probably did.
Yeah.
Like if
I think you sleeping
definitely. Like the kid's sleeping in the bed with you.
Yeah, there's something weird going on there. There's something not right going on.
But as a parent, you know, I done had times where my nieces and nephews probably been in the bed with me and shit.
Oh yeah, of course.
And it's just like my kids definitely like every time they come over, they don't even sleep in their own room. They sleeping in the bed with me.
Yeah.
And
so
shit, I got teenagers. My son might sleep in the room, but my girls, they want to be laid up with me.
Yeah, for sure. I just feel like there's some interesting names.
But he did say he slept on the floor as a kid slept in the bed.
Yeah. I feel like there were some things that he was made to say though. Like he was like the lawyers were like, make sure you say you weren't in that bed with those kids, because maybe he was innocent and maybe he was just complete. Like maybe he just was an innocent person. Like just an innocent human being with morals, or good morals and stuff. That I'd love to believe that. But there's just not just that documentary, because that documentary is overly shocking. It's like the X-ray. It's an X-rated fucking documentary.
One guy they called him the king of deception or some shit like that.
Yeah, I remember there was a person that ended up like being exposed for like kind of lying about some shit. But there was just like that one kid that he like kind of really took a liking to that I just thought was super weird.
I was just looking up there real quick. I don't mean to cut you off, but I don't know I can't remember which video this is. The dude literally pulled up the girl's skirt and looked up her skirt.
Yeah,
in the video.
Like the early 90s.
Yeah, it's from the 90s. Like that would never pass today.
No, not at all.
And look here, and I want to bring this point up too. Is like that was okay back then, so it should be able to stay because we accepted it back then. People today don't have a right to change what happened in the past.
So
that's true.
That's my opinion. Like you
can't change the past.
The past happened. If it was accepted today, then 20 years from now, people you don't have to like it, but you can't change what happened in the past.
Right. So I got a little quick story. So Chippewa, that's our part. That was the main party strip. So I used to go to this club called Foreplay, if y'all remember Foreplay.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
So it's like if you remember that little stage, it's like to the left. So I'm kind of sitting there, girl
Foreplay.
Yeah, good times. So girl is like literally shaking her ass on my head. Okay, cool.
All right.
So even with that, like as a guy, when a female throwing ass on your head,
you play along. It's called foreplay, right?
And if she's like bending it over, if she's letting me touch her ass, like I mean, like I said, all the feminist women don't get offended by this, and then as this girl spread her legs open, she ain't had no fucking drawers on.
Jeez.
All vagina. All vagina.
Damn. That was the mode she was in. That was the game she was trying to play.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong. There's no foul play there.
Like,
it is what it is.
I've been in clubs where I've been drunk and chick been drunk. We start making out. My boy was notorious for that.
Right.
That's so it's just like
it's part of the nightlife. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
I
like
one of my girlfriends, I think, at Foreplay on New Year's Eve. I think it was Foreplay. Pretty sure that's where it was. Just like grinded each other and made out, just like drunk, just making out on the dance floor.
But like my point with that is like
it's foreplay, dude. Shit got pretty crazy there,
Shit got crazy there.
Yeah. And my point with that is like, so say like with some of these celebrities, say it was an incident like that, to where they've been in the club, just happened to make out with a chick, and the next day they getting accused of sexual assault.
Yeah, that could happen.
And it could happen. Like it happens all the time. People, drink. People,
That's why, like personally, like I'll never fuck around with a girl if they have too many drinks. Because I don't ever want to be in that, accidental conversation of like, this person was too drunk and they didn't consent to having sex. You know what I mean? Like,
and even with that, like, and this is my whole thing with that. Like, okay, so say I had more drinks than a woman.
Yeah.
And I was fucked up and we had sex. So they say a drunk woman can't consent to sex, but how about a drunk guy?
Yeah, I know. It doesn't
go.
Yeah, you're saying that right now in this video. Eminem and Dre, he's drunk as hell, hitting on girls at the club in the video. I'll show that in the video too. No, it's just funny because as soon as you said that, it happened in the video.
So all you gotta do usually is just eliminate yourself from that completely and just have like a 2-drink limit. That's what I have. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
even if it's somebody I'm talking with and I'm comfortable with and I'm like in a relationship with, if they have more than 2 drinks, I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna say this too, and this is really what it comes down to with cancel culture and with the feminism movement, the third wave feminism, whatever you want to call it. It's like if anything came out of this that is positive or good, it's that we now live in a world where you got to be, I don't know if it's good, but it is kind of good for women. This is good for women. Men got to be careful now when we go out and how we act and how we treat women, how drunk we get, how we, you know what I'm saying, how we act, like, you know, all that stuff.
You don't want to
we now the message is laid out by these women, by these feminists. Like, this is what it is now, and there's no going back.
Yeah.
So the world times are changing, and you got to adapt to it. There's nothing, you can't fight that. So as much as this cancel culture could be overdone sometimes, at the end of the day, it is doing something. Something is coming out of it.
And people are, like I said, I have like a 2-drink rule. Like, more people are going to have rules that they're going to follow to not put themselves in the conversation of, you know, having sexual assault or anything like that. You know, people are just going to hopefully put themselves out of the conversation completely.
Yeah.
You know?
And one thing I would like to say too, like, you know, if a female get butt ass naked, that doesn't necessarily mean she want to start having sex.
It might just mean she just wanted to be free that night.
Yeah. So, like, but ladies also, I mean, as a man, if I say to you, like, I would prefer you put, if you don't plan on doing anything with me, I would prefer you to have clothes on, because as a man, I might.
Yeah, you're attracting the crowd.
You're attracting me.
Goddamn pheromones in the air.
Yeah, you can't just do what you want, right? That's what it comes down to. People can't just, women and men on both sides of the coin, you can't do what you want. You can't do whatever your heart tells you to do. You can't just do what your feelings tell you to do. You can't think with your dick. You can't just get naked.
Even like just messaging that girl. Like,
we have to carry ourselves in a way, or if you're a woman or whatever, like, you have to carry yourself in a way to know that if I act a certain way, that I might get a certain response, and then men need to realize I can't just walk around and say what I want to women and just act like they all. Like, it has to go both ways. It has to be a two-way street. Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Like, one of the biggest compliments I got was I worked in the group home, and you know, one of the females I worked with a lot of beautiful women in this group home, and one thing that they actually respected about me was, like, I was one of the only the male staff that didn't flirt with them.
Yeah.
So, like, they appreciated that about me, and it made our, like, work relationship
Exactly.
stronger. Because
that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. You know, because I'm not naturally a flirt anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I could really just sit here and shoot the shit with a female, and that be that.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, it's just like, you know, as women, y'all need to understand too. Like, y'all can't just do anything. Just expect us to be kind of like if you pulled your shirt off and your boobs is all out.
Yeah.
You can't expect me to, as a man, you can't expect me to kind of like just, okay, if I see boobs, it's just like,
oh, it's not. Keep going. My bad.
Can't think when you're
my bad.
So it's just like, if I got boobs in front of my face, it's just kind of like distraction. Like, keep your shirt on, please. Just respect me as a man, that, you know, I'm more comfortable having a conversation with you with your clothes on than, you know, you trying to be free, and then it's just like, I'm feeling some type of way. I'm getting horny because I see you naked and you got a beautiful body.
Yeah.
Just keep your clothes on and let us be casual males. And I know some feminist women are going to be like, well, yeah, I should be able to be naked if I want to. And it's just like, no.
Yeah.
No. Have that respect for us.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus, I keep figuring out what I'm going to say because you keep doing that.
My bad. I thought I knew which one was on there. Go ahead.
Shit, I forgot what I was going to say.
My bad.
No, it's all right. I just forgot. My brain went completely blank there for a second.
But yeah, no. Like,
yeah. Here's what I was gonna say. I feel like in a work, this is the way I look at things. This is my personal belief. I feel like when you're in a workplace or in a business setting, the last thing on your mind should be sex. That should be the last.
Yeah, that's a given.
Thing.
But you're right. It's not. It should be a given, but it's not to a lot of people.
It's not. Unfortunately, it's not. People will cross that line. Like, even someone like me that works with like other people, you know, like, people cross that barrier a lot, and they'll have sex with patients and people that that we work with and stuff. So that's actually, it's unfortunate that happens is more times than you'd like. But the last thing on your mind should be sex. Basically, what I'm saying.
No, that's a fact.
When you're in a business setting or as a professional in your work.
Yeah, you want to keep that shit as far away from your work as possible.
Hitting on people, you really shouldn't. You know.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's crazy.
It's one thing when like you're on a construction site and it's like a given, and that's like a rite of passage almost on like a construction site, you know. But like, when you're in a, you know, as like a professional, you conduct yourself. The last thing on your mind should be sex.
Yeah,
I mean, even if it is, you and adult, be more mature about it. Be smart about it.
Yeah.
Because like, if you have a female coworker that you just find attractive and stuff like that, I mean, it's fine, but just also be smart about it, because at the end of the day, you are there to do a job. So I mean, if the feelings are mutual, then that's one thing. But
yeah, because like, even if you're working with like people that are vulnerable, especially if you're working with people that are vulnerable, that sometimes, well, actually, I guess you could say medically can't really make their own distinction on their own, even though they can because they're human beings and they can make their own decisions. But when you're working in a place of people that are vulnerable, and you're starting to take advantage of that and starting to think about like crossing that line between the patient and relationship, you're in the wrong motherfucking field. Like you should not be in this.
I'm talking strictly coworkers, but if you like,
a doctor
definitely. Or if you work in
exactly
a joint where you
like, but with other coworkers, no, I agree with you. I mean, find somebody attractive, it is what it is. But I just feel like the last thing on your mind, that's basically all I was trying to say, is like should be sex, really, especially when you're working with other people. Yeah. So you don't want to just start having sex with them,
Right.
That's not going to be good.
I'm a nurse. I ain't just going to be one of like.
It's going to fuck them up. It's not going to be good for the patient because they're going to start thinking,
Yeah.
I mean, there's situations where if a doctor, saved a patient's life and a mutual attraction happened because of that.
I just thought about something. I don't even know if maybe we can get into this real quick. Maybe we can save it for another day. But there's Joe Biden just came out and said that the jail should have no choice of sending men or women to what side of the jail, that you should be able to decide if you're a male or a female before going to jail.
What?
That's what he just said this the other day.
By the way, in prison, the determination should be that your sexual identity is defined by what you say it is, not what, in fact, the prison says it is. And in that case, you should be entitled also to OGBYN. Anyway, you didn't ask that question.
But somebody commented in Facebook, I saw it, I was dying. They wrote, jail's going to be pretty interesting now.
I want to go.
If I go to jail, can I just go to the women's side?
If I could be locked up with a woman?
Why not?
Yeah, but it sounds good. It'd probably be really gross.
Dude, it's fucked up if you think about it. Like, you can't just make our society completely so woke that you can choose which side of the jail you get to go to. That's fucking nuts.
This shit, like, I don't even consider this shit woke. I just feel like it's causing more confusion.
Yeah, it's causing all these extra ripple effects.
Culture, this woke culture, I feel like is like being woke is actually knowing the history of something. To me, it's actually knowing the truths about something.
That's what woke is. You know something to awaken, not to be completely paralyzed by a fucking. Right. That's the opposite. You're asleep. Exactly. You're just doing whatever you want because you think it's cool or you think it's the culture.
Everybody into a fucking sheep.
Right.
If you watch Pepe Le Pew and you thought he was fucking like sexually harassing the other skunk,
you're not woke.
Then you're not woke at all.
Yeah, you're sleeping like
you're not woke.
You're snoozing away right now.
It's a little kid's cartoon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The whole woke culture is actually the opposite. People are dead asleep right now. Dead asleep. Can't think for themselves. Only think about it's all follow the leader. It's all. If there's a hashtag on Twitter, it becomes trending. Now I'm going to follow it and make it my own. Nobody actually thinks for themselves anymore.
No. It's not cool to be a victim, I don't think. And I think that people are starting to think it's like the coolest thing.
It is the coolest thing. It's the most honorable thing
in the world to be the biggest victim. And here's how I survived. And you don't understand what it's like to be me. And my life was so hard. Everybody wants to like say.
Everybody wants to have that story. Everybody.
And the people that have it the hardest don't say a fucking.
That's what I'm getting at. The people who are really struggling right now. People don't have arms or leg amputees who have nobody, no friends, no nothing.
They don't got GoFundMes.
Don't have a job, and then no one even pays attention to that person. But you got the most beautiful chick in the world who's got her PhD, and her parents bought her a car when she was 16, and she's the one leading the fucking torch. Like, oh, look at me, I'm a victim.
Like, two chicks I can't stand. Tammy Lauren and Candace Owens.
Yeah.
I can't stand them bitches.
Right.
And I hate to call them bitches.
Yeah.
Tammy Lauren's out of mind. Candace Owens is out of her mind.
Tammy Lauren she just seems like she's really driven by the whole
too much passion.
Too right wing.
Too much passion.
Yeah, and too right wing. Candace Owens, I kind of dig her a little bit where she really is a free thinker. You can't box her in a corner. Right. I respect Candace Owens. I will say that.
I dug the way that they tried to make a mockery of her in that courtroom and she like flipped it.
Yeah.
I don't like
this Asian dude.
I did like that.
You see what the Asian dude? I'm going to play that clip real quick.
Ms. Owens, I'm sorry. We just started a recording. Would you like time to respond to that? Yes, I think it's pretty apparent that Mr. Liu believes that black people are stupid and will not pursue the full clip in its entirety. He purposely presented an extracted clip.
The witness will suspend for a moment. It is not proper to refer disparagingly or to a member of the committee. The witness will not do that again. Witness may continue.
Sure, even though I was called despicable.
Witness may not refer to a member of the committee as stupid.
I didn't refer to him as stupid. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. You didn't listen to what I said. May I continue?
Please.
As I said, he is assuming that black people will not go pursue the full 2-hour clip. And he purposefully he cut off, and you didn't hear the question that was asked of me. He's trying to present as if I was launching a defense of Hitler in Germany, when in fact, the question that was asked of me was pertaining to whether or not I believed that whether or not I believed in nationalism, and that nationalism was bad. And what I responded to was that I do not believe that we should be characterizing Hitler as a nationalist. He was a homicidal, psychopathic maniac that killed his own people. A nationalist would not kill their own people. That is exactly what I was referring to in the clip, and he purposely wanted to give you a cut-up similar to what they do to Donald Trump to create a different narrative. That was unbelievably dishonest, and he did not allow me to respond to it, which is worrisome and should tell you a lot about where people are today in terms of trying to drum up narratives. By the way, I would like to also add that I work for Prager University, which is run by an Orthodox Jew. Not a single Democrat showed up to the embassy opening in Jerusalem. I sat on a plane for 18 hours to make sure that I was there. I'm deeply offended by the insinuation of revealing that clip without the question that was asked of me.
That Asian dude literally came into court with a clip of something that she said when she said an entire thing, took it out of context, as if to make it look like she supported Nazis when she was saying the exact opposite. She was talking about how much she hated Nazis.
And I forgot who said it.
That blows my mind that he actually got away with that. And that's a senator. That's a senator in our government right now.
That's one of the most viral clips. So no, he didn't get away with it.
I know, but
I feel like she is a smart woman, but I feel like, some things I just wish she would shut the fuck up on. Like she called Black Lives Matter pretty much a bunch of whiny.
Yeah. I get the criticism of her all day long. That makes perfect sense to me.
She goes too far for me. She goes too far.
Yeah, she goes very far with it. Oh yeah.
She literally just got into politics. Like she really just learned about politics.
She's educated. I'll give her that. I think she's very educated.
And she grew up. She didn't grow up like struggling enough.
No, she's been rich her whole life. Yeah. She's from the suburbs. Yeah. And you can tell. You can tell she's a suburban black chick. You can tell.
And she did not know shit about politics until like 2015, 2016.
Yeah. She did that one video. What was it? I don't think it was on YouTube. It was on like TikTok, not TikTok, Vine or whatever. She did a Vine video, I think it was. It was directed towards white liberals trying to, like, basically what she was getting at was like, I don't need your help. Like, I'm fine. I can handle myself. Like, that was what her video was. And that blew up. And then I think when she realized she can get attention and fame by sort of pandering to this right-wing crowd that's propping her up, that's when she got real, like you said, she got too much with it. Now she's completely right-wing. Now she has no, like in the beginning, she kind of had some left-wing, some leaning, she was all over the place.
Derangement that always gets me. I just not into the people that are like the super Trump derangement about like he's always right. He's never
you got people on both sides that are Trump deranged. People who are so obsessed with Trump that he's the Messiah that's going to save America. I mean, then you got people who are so offended by just seeing his face that they like screech and halt. Oh my God, it's Donald Trump! Like both of them, I can't stand that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
If I see somebody having a Trump rally, I'm gonna let them have their shit.
Right.
I don't give a fuck about Trump.
Yeah.
But that's y'all right to express yourself. That's y'all First Amendment right.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech.
The only thing I can't stand is nobody talks about politics or policies. All they talk about are people they don't like.
Slam it.
Oh, I'm sorry. All they do, they don't talk about politics or policies, or they don't even know anything about. They know nothing about. They
They just follow what they heard on the news.
They just say, "I don't like this person. I don't like that person. This person's a liberal. This person's a conservative. I don't like them."
You can tell who. I can predict every voting habit of person X and person Y, because when they say one talking point that you know is from CNN. All the rest of the talking points will be the same for the next 10 years. The same with people of Fox News. The Republicans do the same thing. no matter what it is, they're going to give you the package talking point that they were told by Bill O'Reilly or whoever on Fox News.
They don't even go that far, though. They just say what they don't like. They don't even go that far. They don't even. That's the worst part. Is people don't even take the time.
Some people don't even know the talking points, right?
All they do, like you can pick one person, and it's all they do. All they do is talk about other people. They don't talk about politics. At all. Just people.
And the one thing that got me was Ice Cube, because a lot of people were shitting on Ice Cube, and it was just like, Ice Cube.
He has a right to feel however he wants to feel. He can vote for whoever he wants to vote for.
And the thing about it, he didn't vote for Donald. He wasn't like endorsing Donald Trump or nothing like that. He pretty much was like, I got this contract for black people. Yeah. Whoever's willing to listen to me.
Yeah.
I'm presenting it to the Democrats and the Republicans.
And he got shit for that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And
that's what we're getting at.
He never said he supported Donald Trump.
No, never.
His whole thing was like, I'm trying to look out for my people.
Whoever gives us the most money.
Right.
That's it.
And you want to know something, and all the people out there who hate Trump out there, the fact of this is a reality that he gave more funding to black colleges than Obama did in his 4 years.
I didn't even know that.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, I don't really know.
I mean, you could chalk it up as maybe he was trying to get votes and pander. Sure, you can say that all you want, but the fact is he did it. The fact is he did it.
He's not a bad businessman either. I'll give him that. He's definitely not bad at what he does.
I say people was like, oh, he had bankruptcies and this and that, and it's just like
he passed the First Step Act, which rolled back the '94 crime bill, and thousands of people that were in jail for nonviolent drug charges got out that day because of a bill that he signed. Yeah. People don't talk about that either. Now I'm not Trump. Like, I can care less about Trump. At the end of the day, he's gone. He's done. Who cares? I don't give a shit. I'm not a Trump supporter. I don't care about Trump. It is what it is. But I'll tell you, if I know facts about him that make him look good, I'll say it. I don't care. I'm not scared to do that. It is what it is. Exactly. It's just truth. That's all it is.
And me, I really I voted for Biden, but at the end of the day, like, I'm sick of having to vote for the lesser of two evils.
right.
Yeah, and the worst about that is when you try to say you voted third party and people are like, "You're part of the problem." Then it's like, why?
Like, we have to, like, if I voted third party, that's my fucking right.
Yeah, right. Like I hate that. That's mostly white liberals that are like that, though. If you didn't vote for either party, then you're part of the problem.
Stop this fucking go along to get along bullshit, because at the end of the day, it's causing more division. Like, instead of just allowing people to have their own way of thinking, we want to shit on people for that.
Right.
Maybe it did make me feel a certain way because I voted third party, because I couldn't vote.
That's all right.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it.
And you know what? If enough people voted a third party, it would make a difference. Yeah. But people are so scared to do it because they're told if you vote a third party, all you're doing is making them problems, and you're just taking away from votes from Democrats.
And you got motherfuckers that got mad at people voting, period. Like, the fuck?
Yeah, right. You could have stayed home that day and then voted for nobody.
If you didn't vote, that's your fucking decision.
Right.
I didn't vote in 2016.
You mean neither?
The cringiest thing is, if I don't care who it is, if you voted for who, unfriend me now. Like, whenever, I don't care who, enter the blank. It doesn't matter who. If you voted for Biden, unfriend me. If you voted...
It's such a
unfriend me, dude. I don't care.
Yeah, it's such a primitive way to think.
Yeah, I'm not going to even.
It's such a primitive.
Use my finger muscles.
It's such a primitive way to think like that. To think if you vote this way, then I hate. Like, that's such a
it's lame.
Low IQ, lame way to think.
Super lame. Yeah. It is. It really is lame. That's the best way to put it.
It's lazy too.
You can't have a conversation with someone.
Right.
Like, really?
It's lazy.
Lame.
Like the one guy with the Undertaker, because he saw that Chris Jericho and Undertaker supported Donald Trump. I can't.
Cancel the Undertaker now.
I can't support the Undertaker anymore. Like, dude, what the fuck?
Because he doesn't want to pay taxes.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah,
right. It's crazy.
Seriously.
Like, and apparently Undertaker's against the whole, kneeling for the flag. And that's his fucking right.
It is.
I still won't. I still would love to have a damn glass of whiskey with Undertaker one day.
Yeah, I'd love
to. I want to take a shot with Undertaker. Like,
the last thing we talk about is politics. I'll tell you that. That's the last. I'd be talking about Shawn Michaels and fucking WrestleMania 25. I wouldn't be like, "Who'd you vote for?"
How many WrestleManias was he even in? 30?
Yeah, he was in. Yeah, at least like 33 in a row.
It's crazy.
Oh, he not 33 in a row. I'm sorry. He had a little bit of breaks here and there, but he went in like 21-0.
It's like 23-2 or something like that.
Yeah, it was like 23-2 or something. Yeah, that's like the final. But yeah, the guy he's a fucking icon. He's the
I don't care who
phenom.
you voted for. Like I say, we're not canceling Mike Tyson for voting for Donald Trump twice. That's Mike Tyson's fucking choice. I love Mike Tyson.
I'll watch the video of it.
I love to shoot the shit with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I'll watch the video of him saying I'm voting for Trump, and then I'll forget that ever even happened because I don't care that who he voted for.
I don't care either.
Tom Hanks is a big time Democrat, and I would love to chill with Tom Hanks. It doesn't matter. Like to me, it doesn't matter. And I will take the glasses off again. It doesn't matter to me who you vote for.
Me neither.
As long as you're a good person, as long as you got a good head on your shoulders, I could care less who you voted for. Yeah. Trump, Biden, Hillary, Trump, Obama,
whatever,
Cruz, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care. As long as you cool, I don't give a fuck.
Stop being so angry, you know. Just
and
chill
then,
out. Have a conversation with somebody that you disagree with. See how it works.
And even with the Biden thing, I have a few people that I know that, and I love them dearly. That Biden's not my president.
Yeah.
Fine.
And that's how you feel. And you know what I say to people like that? When people say Trump is not my president or Biden's not my president, well, actually he is. Like there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. But if you don't want to support him, that's your right too.
Yeah. Right. And and somebody hit somebody with that line, Trump not my president. Trump's your president.
Yeah, Trump was the president.
No, he's not. I'm like, if I could if I can cancel family members, I can cancel the president.
Right.
If that's the case.
You're right, yeah.
Here's the way I look at it, though. Whoever's leading, whoever's the pilot, I want them to succeed. Whether it's Trump, whether it's Biden, we're all on the same plane.
I feel the same way.
I just want that plane to drive perfectly straight and have no fucking turbulence.
Listen.
That's all I want. I don't want anything else. I don't care if it's Trump. I don't care if it's Biden. I'm going to support you, and I want you to work.
I did a podcast a month or two ago with somebody on Zoom. And we're talking about it was the first, right away as soon as Biden got elected. And this person was already talking about that's all he wanted to talk about: election fraud, Trump won, Trump this, that. So then we start talking about. I switched the conversation to gear towards what a Biden presidency will look like, and I'm trying to be realistic. Like he's the president now; it is what it is. Like this is gonna happen. He's completely in denial. Thinks this is all gonna get reversed because he's being told that by his echo chamber. Anyways, make a long story short, we're talking about a Biden presidency, and I'm being realistic. Like I think Biden would be kind of like Bill Clinton. Like I think that's his policies kind of line up with Bill Clinton a little bit. Yeah. That's what I think we're looking at. We're looking at another Bill Clinton term, and he was like, no, we're gonna crumble, or everything's gonna our country's gonna fail. We're gonna be communist. And like he wanted to make a narrative,
yeah,
and he wanted to be exactly how. When Trump was president, he would criticize the left for being so harsh on Trump and not even giving him a chance. But then here we are with Biden. He's doing exactly what they do. And that woke me up. It was like, it's all the same.
What's so funny?
It's all the same. Democrats and Republicans are all the same.
Yeah.
They're all equally crazy.
Yeah.
They are.
It's so crazy, though, because I seen some similar shit on Facebook. And this one, it looked like Trump was going to win another term. And they were like, oh, yeah, watch the liberals say that the election was fixed. Next day when Biden was up,
yeah.
Oh, the election's fixed.
Yeah. It's so crazy because we went from Russian meddling to Chinese meddling. Like it's just switched up. Like there's always that conspiracy there. The first one would happen with Obama, with his. Where was he from? His birth certificate.
Show us your birth certificate, boy.
Yeah. So then he gives out his birth certificate. He's from Hawaii. Everybody shuts up.
Gary Jones, they thought his name was something.
But then it turns into Trump. Trump becomes president, and all of a sudden for 4 years, all we heard was Russia meddled in our election.
Show us your taxes.
Yeah, this is a big problem, and PBS did a documentary about our election can be hacked so easily. Then he loses to Biden, and all of a sudden, this election's perfect. And now the Republicans are, oh my God, this election is so horrible. Everything it was all rigged.
Can I just say something?
There's no consistency. It's all about, if you don't like it, you're going to look for facts that back up your claims. And if you like
that bitch.
Yeah, and if you like something, you're just going to look for facts that back up your claims. That's all you're doing.
How terrible is the elections? Why do we do it like that?
I don't know.
It is such a fucking mess.
There's got to be a better way.
It's left open to speculation of whether or not it was real because it's such a fucking... Why do we do shit like that?
I don't know. It's got to be a better way.
Why don't we just do like American Idol or something? Why can't we just vote on our phones or something for the next president?
You know what? That would be cool.
Why?
Because I guess that way it's too easily to be like controlled and hacked.
Except now we have these weird things. We have these weird ballots where people are all in control of them.
No, I agree. I agree.
So sketchy.
No, there has to be there has to be ballots counted. in local areas.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
That has to happen. You can't just have a bunch of votes go to one spot and have one person
weird,
control the votes.
The whole
but you're right. There has to be a better way than what we're doing now.
It's awful.
It does seem pretty fucked up.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
I think it should be like, when they say text this number to such and such.
Yeah.
So I think for like each city, maybe each state, however, they could do some shit like that where
it's just
if you can do it on your phone.
Yeah, that's a good idea. A local number that you text.
Yeah.
It goes to your local. It goes to your local spot. They tally the votes up. They send it.
And you can only send it once.
That's it. You get one vote. Every phone number. You got to register your phone number. A year, 2 years before. You have all this time.
Or
even whenever. You can register whenever. You register your phone number to your name. You do it whenever. You have 4 years to do it. You got from election 1 to election 2 to do it. So you got all the time in the world to do it. You register your phone number. It's a good idea, actually. Once your phone number is registered, that's it. You got your one vote from your phone. Boom.
And this is what we call progressive thinking. We are going backwards, especially with the whole fucking cancel culture thing, because it's like we just threw our whole First Amendment right away.
Yeah.
By just kind of finding shit to be pissed off about. Like I said, I blame the pandemic. I blame it on the fact that
people are just going crazy right now.
Yeah, like a lot of us are really losing our shit. And if this pandemic hasn't affected you mentally, you're a strong fucking person, because it's affecting me mentally. Affecting you mentally?
Oh yeah.
Affecting you mentally?
Yeah. Sometimes I forget my mask. I'll pull up to a gas station to grab a drink, and I'll walk out, forget my mask, and I'll walk up to the door and remember that. It's like, fuck. And it just pisses me off so much. I'm not trying to fight the whole mask thing or anything, but it sucks.
Wearing it for 8 hours at work every day.
It sucks. I'm getting tired of it.
And it's like you got,
and that stress is on everybody right now, not just me.
Right, and it's like you got to mentally prepare yourself to remember a mask.
Yeah, I forgot
something that this time last year we didn't need.
Yeah, we don't, and that's another thing. I don't want to normalize masks. I'm sorry, I don't want to normalize that shit. I want that shit to go away.
I always forget. I'll be in the store at the cash register, and they'll be like, "Where's your mask?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, because I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy who doesn't wear a mask. I just don't want to be that guy. That guy is always kind of a dick, So I just completely forget. I always forget. I forget my fucking keys where they are in the morning.
Me too. Like when Neil picked me up earlier, it was just like I didn't think about it until we were here, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot my mask.
Yeah.
So it was just like
I always forget
that, and you got to mentally people lost their jobs. You can't really.
I hope that's new stimmy coming. Is there a new stimmy coming? New stimulus check?
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
1,400.
Yeah, I heard about
that. Get that shit.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just like with that, it's like it's so much to think about now, especially with COVID. People worrying about paying the bills and shit like that. So it's like a lot of stress, and it's just like our out. And I feel like this with America, our out has always been to be in other people's shit.
Yeah.
And now, what better way than...
And we're so rebellious by nature because that's how we were founded, by rebelling against the British. So we already have that seed planted in all of us as Americans, that we want to fight the system. We want to be progressive. We want to change the way these things are. We've always been that way.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of natural that we're like that. So part of me respects it, but we got to chill.
Like, well, a lot of shit just chill. Like, we don't have to cancel everything for every little shit. Like... If I say bitch, I shouldn't have to be canceled for that, because some women be like, "Oh my god, he's being disrespectful to women." Like if I say this girl,
and then you got Cardi B calling her friends bitches. My bitches are here, like they using the word like, you know what I'm saying? Like if we're gonna cancel a word, if we're gonna cancel a word, then cancel the word, but don't just call out certain people that use the word. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Bitch.
They say it. The people say it.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
White, black, Asian,
people say it.
Like people say that shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't.
It's just
know
words.
Saying. It's just the way. They
and
are.
You know what? It is really. And then people roll your eyes when you say it's just words, but it is just words. And the First Amendment comes first for a reason. That's the cornerstone of the Constitution. That's the cornerstone of a free society. Freedom of speech. That's the most liberal thing you can think of, is freedom of speech. I mean, in the 60s and 70s, liberals were all about freedom of speech. All of a sudden, now they want to talk about hate speech, and it's like, you're no longer call yourself a liberal now. Now you're authoritarian. That's not liberal. Liberals are supposed to be all about freedom of speech, and now in 2021, you're seeing an opposite.
Right. It was just like, if I call you a piece of shit, it's oh my god, that offends doodoo.
Right. Yeah, somehow it'll offend some piece of shit somewhere.
Or you say it now and no one says anything, no one even thinks about it. 20 years from now, you get famous somehow. I don't know, whatever. Your podcast blows up. You're famous. Everyone knows your name. You become a household name. And then all of a sudden you get canceled because what you said in the garage in Buffalo in 2021, 20 years ago.
Offended by poop group or something. You know,
yeah.
a whole group of people that are
Who knows,
by poop
dude?
now.
And like we said in the last podcast, we're podcasters. We're just ticking time bombs to get canceled.
Oh, God.
It's just
I probably said some shit today.
The bigger we get, the bigger,
canceled.
the more of a following I'm
definitely
seeing.
did. I said
Because
some stupid
I'm
shit.
starting to see my numbers go up a little bit every month, and the
Yeah,
bigger,
same here.
the bigger we get, the quicker it's gonna happen.
Or you're going to be scrutinized.
You know what I'm saying?
And we're not trying to get canceled, but we also want to be able to be ourselves without nobody having to fucking stress us.
You shouldn't have to worry about being yourself either, you know?
Right. It's like I'm me. I cuss a lot.
Yeah.
I might use certain words that might offend people, but I try to be tasteful about it and not do that. But at the end of the day, it's just like I can only be me. You be you. Stop being so fucking sensitive about shit, because at the end of the day, it's just like we should be able to say what the fuck we want. And if it offends you, just don't listen.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a good way to end it, honestly.
It is a great way to end it.
To wrap her up.
That's another hour we just put in right there too.
Yeah, another hour.
That's 2 hours right there. This is my record right here. It's the longest I've ever done.
Right.
You can put it out in 2.
This is a milestone right here. I will say that. This is the first time I ever did a full 2 hours.
All right.
I've done an hour and a half. I've done hour. I do that all the time, actually. I always try to go for an hour at least. Sometimes I do 45 minutes. You know, and that's cool too. But this is a milestone for me, man.
Go, man.
We got to keep this up.
And we try not to offend anybody. We just want to be ourselves and just
being real.
Authentic.
Just be real. We want to be authentic. We don't want to have to walk on eggshells just to get a few likes. Like, fuck out of here. I would rather be canceled for who I am than loved for who I'm not.
And I'll even bring up stupid shit that I do just to like make a point of like sometimes maybe you shouldn't do this because I did it and it didn't work.
Yep.
Right.
You know, I can be an example of he told that story about some dumb shit he did. I probably shouldn't do it. You know.
Right.
So I could help.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we definitely had a very real and very authentic conversation. And I enjoyed it. Like I enjoy these guys right here because
this is gonna be a weekly thing. By the way.
Hey, I'm with
Next week we got Miles Carter, me and you.
Oh yeah,
both of us did a podcast with Miles Carter separately. This is the first time all three of us would be doing it together.
Hey, let's do it.
So
with that,
stay tuned for that. Miles Carter for sheriff, and shout out your sponsors.
Oh yeah, my sponsor, Steve-O Johnson, Mr. Matty Ross himself,
sponsoring this video right
Matty
here.
Ross, MattyRouse.com. Get your Matty Ross apparel and support our brand, support his brand, support Miles Carter for sheriff.
Local, baby.
Yes, sir. And with that being said, Nickel City Podcast, NerdBoyz.